rock up just in time to get that elim. They're on 90 points, blank, in 6th place. So, I mean, I said it was all 5 of the top 5 that could potentially break that smash point boundary, but KARA in with a chance of doing it as well. They would need a mid-teens elim chicken dinner to be able to jump up over there, but starting out like this, holding a coastal position, potential inroads towards a shooting range circle could be good for their points totals, especially if they're starting early.
Yeah, I mean, for KARA, it's a 24-point game. We just saw a 24-point game from IDA, so it's definitely a big possibility for them. And this one heads down towards the southeast side. Around that river, around that lake, a little bit awkward to play in. RYZEN quite happy, but they are surrounded by quite a few squads. They started the game with 1 elim, which is decent, and IDA's going to make a quick rotate down towards that south side, and Boars are left behind in Severny.
They are going to be left alone, left to their own devices for the time being. Have to wait and see who's going to join them. KARA actually sent out very, very quickly from their location on the north side of Severny. They went back down towards the east. They're now scrapping it out for a little compound there. RYZEN up on the hillside with Barsai actually taking shots out their way. I mean, this was the standoff that we saw last match as well, over on the northeast point of Quarry.
Halo bang, halo.
RYZEN and with Barsai.
Terus apa lagi trail di hierarchy ntar ya.
Hoses down. There is quite a bit of damage going through over towards KARA, and remember, this is an important game for them. A great nade from CEO later will take down Rolex. Step out to the side. This is messy from both players.
And he's on for more. Lewis looks for a second around the corner. Has a teammate pop out wide, and he stays alive in the courtyard.
Sekarang cari 113.
Up points left and right here, blank. 2 elims already for
Halo,
one up on the hot drop, but now it's just Swash on the inside, looking for that first aid. Marso, I think he knows which shack he's in. Doesn't have any nades though to try and finish him off.
Yeah, very, very messy from both squads there, actually. I think it is just Bra is not as proficient as a lot of other players inside this lobby.
Oh yeah.
Cari 113 dulu guys ya, smash point-nya.
They've already got 1 elim on the match as well, blank. They're now, what is that, 8 points shy of that smash point barrier.
Lag dulu lah, anjing good banget ngelagnya, cok.
Another nade sent in by Loxy doesn't really catch anything there. So they'll have to hold on this compound, but it is a strong position for RYZEN. A tight 2-2 split right now for them. And they have that high ground position. They're counterpointing it with that building as well. Loxy still playing in that valley, but this is a really strong position for them.
Yeah, they do have a good hold here. RYZEN, it's fairly central as well. And
sampai nggak lolos mah jelek aja sebelum PUBG menangis. Enggak bagus apa jelek sama trial. Ini Falcon yang ada top. Wah, zaman kapan, bro? Top udah di APG. Lu nganggurin PUBG berapa lama, cok?
This is very undecided at the moment, John.
Oh, Falcons losing their north point is really, really nasty. They have such good control towards the south edge on that river crossing towards Rozhok. But now if they want to get all 4 players up and alive, I don't think it's going to be possible. Yeah, IDA are just going to run that point down.
Coaching staff out. Bisa jadi.
RYZEN biding their time. They've spotted BW next Ruya right next door, and they'll see if they can find more shots here where IDA have just vacated.
Carly out there in the smoke, just hidden by that, away from the boys. Okay, 1. Nade across, Kavik there.
Apa masih ada asap?
Okay, around the corner.
Nama juga masih trial, cocok main lagi nggak cocok gan. Sabar ya, bro.
Finding the first. It's not without cost though. Simple Domac is down and an aid over from SARA keeps them in. S2G down in 5th place now with KARA getting the points that they have done, so they need to win this fight to keep up pace. But Icy falls next, and it's Fenerbahce to be able to take this fight and take it well. Savian strafing across. It's all up to SARA now. 3 players alive total, but he's the only one standing in this scrap, and he will be able, not be able rather, to hold the corner down. It's the end of S2G in this match, and in 5th place, that is a real stick in the
Ini
tail.
penentuan tiket terakhir guys ya, top 4 ke
Very much so for
PMWC.
S2G. Again, we talked about them dropping out here, John, which is unfun, not good for them. K1 across the way, Slonic as well as PROVOKE holding on the bridge, never a fun position to be in. Regnum Kaya, this is where it gets nasty. Barsai off of the distance. They have been cut between a lot of squads. BW next is still behind them as well. They have to be very careful.
Sebelah gimana guys? Sebelah guys. Adakah something good dari sebelah? S2G terdampar gitu di stack 5 nih. Wah, menangis nih. Stabil cok S2G cok.
Middling performances yesterday, high single digits, which is great in terms of jumping up the tables, but the overall performance not as strong as maybe they would like. Barsai as well out to the east side of this fight. Thunder Talk behind Foot, Papra Supermassive all still on the northern shore, but this circle screams Falcons right now. They are on 3 players alive. They lost Redox up on the northern shore, but they have that warehouse. They have that compound on the northern edge. What can they do with it here?
Kurang 8 poin, kurang 7.
Obviously, losing one player does diminish your resources to work in a cramped area like that on the map. For Regnum Kari, though, really are kicking themselves here in terms of having to play on that north side as we're heading down towards the south, where they just were earlier. I still think they made the right decision, but a couple of teams holding them in place, locking them down with net and key. We'll see how they want to play out the back of this one. Again, 8 points. That's all it takes. All it takes.
They're still holding up. Still holding face. And with 4 players alive, you've got to think Regnum Kai is going to have something to do with it, although they did take a little bit of damage there. He should be able to keep this one under control. The next circle does have a slice of the northern shore inside, which means that they can be a little bit slower on this fight than otherwise they might need to be. The northern edge, this team start to get across the river. It's very likely to be ending up on the south side now. Solke goes for a long-range shot.
Jauh banget,
Solke
Solkai.
actually, over the Rosok Hill.
The difficulty for most squads here right now.
Oh, Boar juga turun, cok. Yang naik nih berarti Ida, Falcon, Kara.
Oh,
Falcon naik ya.
The center island, which is a smart decision to go for.
Tim match to watch ya.
But there's a lot of squads on the north side, if
Banyak.
Regnum Kaya as well as BW next Ruya, who just can't make that play because they'd be exposed as soon as they made that
nomor
rotate.
1 tuh Regnum, S2G, Boar tuh juga kemarin mengejutkan. Oh ya, halo Nata. Nah, kedengaran Nata kalau dipanggil begitu. Ah, kalau di kring-kring tuh baru kedengaran tuh. Di kring-kring ngopi, wah kedenger langsung tuh.
They're playing the building. They're not playing in that warehouse, so no direct crash on the roll-up. But Barsai now just have a prime position in this next
Gimana? Iya, aku tuh suka nggak dengar kalau dipanggil. Oh iya gitu, nggak dengar, nggak noleh. Tapi kalau di kring-kring langsung kelihatan gitu. Matanya langsung melek.
Three-way fight going on here between CTQ, IDA, K1. And no one was prepared to take shots over towards Barsai because no one can really afford to beat their heads out here. Also, really, a lot of teams over towards Rozhok should have taken shots over towards Barsai as they went through. This is the freest rotate of a lifetime.
They are laughing right now. I mean, Redox going down maybe stop the Falcons from thinking that they should hold towards this warehouse, right? They have to play as 3. They have to play a little bit more conservatively. As we tune in, though, over to the Regnum Kaya fights. They find one. Frozen goes very, very low. The first knock goes to Loxy. Frozen is down as well. These are more points that they can snap away. That's their tally. They're able to light it up. BWNRX are crumbling in the face of it. They've already got that 4th position, and they are tearing through BWNRX. Kakali hiding will go down, and that will be the end of them.
108
points more earned for
5 lagi, bos.
The Blue Zone claims that last one. 108 points. It's 5 more that they need.
Yeah, that's a really good pickup coming from
5 lagi
Kaya. They
anjing.
waited
Guys,
to
like-nya
feed
guys.
the NRX out, and they
Kalian
knew that that's what
pencet
they
tuh
had
gambar
to do
jempol
to
guys.
make sure they can make this one happen.
Gratis
Question
loh,
is
nge-like
whether they get
loh.
the player back up on his feet or not. It is really down to the wire on that side of the map to make it happen, and then they need a clean contest over the other side. Kara coming up against the Falcons here. First player does go down, and they should be able to get Koa back up again, but that does invite other members into this engagement.
Mas 10.000 ngomongin kangen sih, ntar dulu Nata.
10.000 SUPPORT donasi Nata di
Oh,
Koko. Pesan
Ken,
gak
maksudnya
kangen apa?
Ken, lu tanya Ken, kangen gak Ken?
And they can look to try and
Oh,
extend
si
this lead, but they
Ken.
do need these reses, and they need them fast.
Lah kan segrup, tinggal ngajak main.
Still finding bullets out of his basket. How they were finding those
Aku lagi
shots.
nggak main game Nata, nggak lagi main game mobile, mataku
Right now, though,
sakit.
This is a difficult rotate for Kaya.
Yeah, it's very much
Pedes matanya lihat gambar kecil.
towards the western side, but what is that? I mean, they'll lose Loxy.
Ya
and they'll be
nggak
okay with
jadi
it, but
cowok, hilang ya, sisa
goodness me,
2.
Tospic goes down two. It was a
Nggak jadi
gambit
smash
that they had
point,
to go
Jing.
for here. Two players
Sisa
alive now for
satu.
Regnum Kaya. One
What
goes
the
down, leaving
fuck?
just now Silas, I believe.
It can be.
Goodness me.
It can
They
be
only
happen on
needed
this
5
match.
points here, Blank, but they didn't have an option. A nade from Thunder Talk is going to draw the attention from Ida, but there's an answer beautifully found
Ida
there. with the
berapa?
1-2 spray
99
down
jauh,
for
anjing.
Ida's eastern position. Darkin now down.
Nggak bisa. Next match masih guys. Kecuali ini Falcon, Chicken,
Kill
banyak nih.
well, allowing Regnum Kaya to maybe stay alive for a little bit
106,
longer. We'll see if they can find these reses.
7 kill
The
lagi.
Northern Shore may be able to give them enough cover to find that res, but they still have a little way to go if they want to find the rest of this match.
Depends how much Barsai wants to flex out, right? Because it is downhill over towards that north side, and Barsai's a little bit more concerned over towards the eastern side. But I think that is Wild getting knocked. So just Silas now playing on. And despite all that, though, there is going to be a lot of squads that are getting hurt as we get further into this
Mungkin
game.
Nata ya, rezekinya
All
lancar
playing
berkas
around
selalu.
Prozok here.
Interesting. Blank. With that Regnum Kaya rotate, they didn't go with Silas. He actually opted to
Itu
go for
Oxford
a
lagi
swim
laga amal.
across the
Berapa
river.
emang?
Didn't go across the bridge like the rest of them.
Yeah, I felt like vehicles were a bit of an issue for him there. And
Nggak ada di
I
live
don't
score.
really
Berapa
understand
cuy?
it. I think that all going for a swim, probably a good idea. There is
6-1.
also that potential that what they were hoping
Gue
for.
bilang Alstar Liga Ang. Udah sih stop nonton cok.
So, I would probably much prefer to
Habisin waktu,
split that
anjing.
way. You only have to sacrifice one on the bridge, and there is positioning to play there
6-1
for
tai.
Silas. Obviously, he's going to have to
What
tuck
the
right
fuck?
in underneath over towards Falcons now. And it's not likely he gets a high placement as well with this being an urban finish. It's so sad for Regnum Kaya, considering this is their drop spot.
Especially with how close they are to that smash boundary. Right now, the only two teams who are in this game who could realistically
Oleh
meet
ngegolin
it
nggak, Oleh?
are Ida, maybe. I think the Falcons is probably the most likely right now, but they do still have quite a long
Berarti
way to
ketemu
go.
siapa?
Right? They
Persib tadi
started
menang apa
with
nggak?
94,
Sama
they
siapa?
need a 9 elimination
Port
chicken
FC.
dinner, or I think second place with about 12, something in that sort of
Kalah
region.
Persib.
Well, with 13 elims
Lu
in
jawab
second
enggak nih,
place.
enggak.
With
Oleh
3
ngegolin
players
apa
alive
Persib
in an urban
kalah?
environment,
menang.
that could be doable here, especially if they have angles over towards Papua Supermassive. Fenerbahce being across the road, though, might shake things up.
Oh, Oleh nggak ngegolin.
Pretty much done. But Ida, though, it's still 100 points.
Ya nggak apa-apa
on the
nggak
game.
ngegolin.
Not
Ntar aja
even
pas timnas golin.
punching on the placement points just yet about it. The Falcons quite happy with their position. Kara going down was huge for them.
Persib
STG
kalah.
also falling massive, and we are getting away with it now.
Sudah
Those
diduga.
100-point boundary has been broken now by 2 teams. Ida as well as Regnum Kaya.
Berapa skor?
Darkin spotted.
Set masih bertahan nih. RG
taking shots out their way. Nico now.
5 anjing, 5 step 2.
What are they shooting at? The juicing Darkin is there, but he gets knocked from across the way. Thunder Talk have taken a knock as well from up on the hill, and Barsai, I mean, it's still incredible, right? That
Wah, Ida masih bertahan satu.
Pasti
fokus bentuk chemistry dulu. Nentot udah juara Liga 1 masih bentuk chemistry bangsa. Berarti belum sampai skillnya udah anjing.
Just trying to out heal the blue zone for a little bit longer, maybe get another point. I don't think he's expecting too much here, but could potentially try and hang on. Points really matter at the top side of the tables, but he will.
Ya, pemain asingnya out, gue tahu.
Going out.
Looking for more points is
Berarti di carry dong.
And he does do a lot of damage over towards Barca. He's able to clean up at least one.
Baru siapa sih Sadil kan?
That's 5 eliminations going through. Do they get across to their teammates to pick them up in time? And they do not. So they get 6 elims on the game for that.
Kenapa main intinya hilang? Ya, nikmatin ya.
Oh my goodness me. And he got a placement as well. Down before him. He managed to get to 8th place.
Butuh chicken 7 elim.
They're 2 points shy of that boundary blank, which means we're going to have to wait once more unless the Falcons can make it.
Very much does feel like we're
7 kill lagi baru chicken. Baru smash point.
This is likely to go very, very far into the matches. 5 or 6 is likely where it'll be decided. Remember, even in match 6, if we get there, it still can end on a smash ruling. And I think as the day wears on, it gets more and more stressful for a lot of our squads.
Ooh, Western shift on the circle goes over to the Falcons. Again, the team probably in the most important position. Papra Supermassive as well, with a big game, could jump up and start to contest. So could Fireflux, up towards the top 4 here.
Falcons would need 9 elims on the game here to make it happen. Roughly.
And the chicken dinner.
And the chicken dinner, obviously.
Kecil banget itu ngelutnya.
Yeah, they would need 9 elims and a chicken dinner if they wanted to get across that smash point ruling. And I think in an urban environment at 9 elims from the current 2 count.
Intinya pemenang merayakan, yang kalah menjelaskan
right
udah.
now, the biggest thing that they want to look for is just to get as close as possible to the smash ruling on this game.
Especially when you know that there's no one
Kira bakal easy game Persib. Kalah juga sama Asnawi CS.
There's no one really contesting for it. Not to say that they aren't going to take those shots and try and take the fight. Farsight, after Silas inflicted so much damage towards them, really starting to falter, but not done just yet. More nades over towards Thundertalk. But these points towards the bottom of the table's blank, sort of feeling a little bit
dapat lagi, dapat 4.
And it's actually going to be
sisa 5 lagi.
Getting taken down. That's another point over to the Falcons.
Yeah, Falcons would have picked 2 up in the middle of all that. They stole one away on Fenerbahce's side and then stole one away over to the far side.
Killnya total 9.
Falcons, and if they do want to hit that 9
Gol Indo
elim mark and get the chicken dinner, this is what they have to do. They have to
Ntar lu kasih tahu gua kalau udah 6 sama ya.
Be very, very certain on their positioning. Navalu finding Savian, steals it away though.
Tracking yang terhalang gagal. Oh, Falcon kenok. Sisa 2.
Oh dear. That is nasty. They're going to look for that res pretty desperately, you'd imagine. Barside going
Ada sebuah balasan. Mantep, naik. Apakah selesai dengan waktu singkat ini?
They are unconfirmed on the placement points total, which means they are starting to rack them up. They need 4 more elims if they want to jump on up. Out of a possible, what is it? 13 other players in this lobby. They need 4 of them and this chicken dinner to be able to take it home. And the circle helps them out again. Are they on this miracle run? Are Fireflux going to be able to get across to it either?
Honestly, for the Falcons, what I will say right now is that it looked unlikely for them to get those 9 eliminations, but they were very quick on the trigger, very aware of their surroundings as well over towards Barsai, as well as TTQ, and I think TTQ might just be sacrificing themselves
Siapa yang udah match point belum?
of the Falcons. Should be an extra 3 elims, which should sit them up towards
belum ada tuh gambar petir. Ini Falcon nih. Kalau kill 4 lagi.
Blue will push them in eventually.
Enggak, itu kan poinnya update. Kalau kill 4 lagi sama chicken, harus chicken ya. Kalau nggak chicken, killnya 11.
pretty tricky. Thundertalk getting a little bit more health on board Striker, sacrificing a massive amount of health there to get that vehicle out.
Dapat 3 lagi, bos.
There, who takes the point? Who's able to get it? I think that was. Oh no.
Oh, bersin sama dia nih. Bersin sama si anjing nih.
Instead of that third party, so they're up to 100 points now just on those elims. The placements will add in as well. As Thundertalk really suffering here.
3 elim lagi dan harus chicken Falcon ya, baru smash point. Overpeak, nafsu.
Plays on fine Symphony, which is very frustrating though because
Oke, dapat 2 kill lagi, guys.
They'll at least get 1 elim off the back of it.
Bisa chicken sih mereka.
I think Symphony
di situ ya. Yang di bawah sih.
Now up to 7.
Bisa. Zona terakhir kan habis ini jeder tutup.
Big high grounds available to them too. We're into zone 9.
Nggak kecolongan low ground bisa sih. Smash point kayaknya.
A piece of the pie. The Falcons though 2 elims and a chicken dinner. It is
Tuh kan,
possible.
harus 2 lagi dan chicken katanya. Kata komentator.
If they get the chicken dinner, it's very, very likely that they get these 2 elims. Fenerbahce, though, looking to try and ruin this one. A nade over the top, looking for the knocks, looking for the damage. They've done a lot over towards Fenerbahce.
Wah, berhasil nyebrang ke rumahnya, anjing.
They can't hop out, they can't afford to go and deal with it. The heals can start to come through, and now it's Fenerbahce's turn. The momentum shifts, and they are going to find that first knock. And nade out from Narvalo, and they're able to get yet another point here. Narvalo playing across the way, helping out his teammates on the top floor here. Simple Domac.
One more, oke. Harus chicken udah nih. Udah, mereka 9 udah nih. Harus chicken. Harus chicken nih Falcon nih, baru smash point nih. 113. Halo Mas, halo Septian. Info Zuxi next season. Lah itu lagi main UR dia. Berarti nggak ikut trial.
And it's looking a little bit tough for them over on that side. Wonder how much more
orangnya lagi left gitu.
Luckily, they have cleared out most of the enemy on the western edge. So it's a clear shot over towards the east for them.
Enzo actually cleaning up the back lines of Fireflux. This is good news for the Falcons. They don't need the elims necessarily. They just want to get rid of these teams around them and get that chicken dinner a little bit easier. Foot looking for the reses in the meantime. That's what Enzo's been trying to do. And they on in. Koa doesn't have any more now. Needs to rely on the weaponry. And Nade is cooking for catch. And the Falcons still yet to flex out. Ralph now charging forwards. High ground still available. They are so low on these health bars. Fireflux with 2. And Ralph with a big nade. Needs to hit it. Needs to hit it now.
Aduh, hit doang.
So unfortunate. These knocks are already coming on through, but the reses are here as well. Navallo, you need to keep
Ingat nih, Falcon harus chicken guys ya. Wah, enak banget tuh sayur.
Spots all the players around the edge. The rest of his team now dealing with Fireflux. There's a nade. Cal amongst the pigeons, and he goes down. Can he hold this? Navallo with it all to do finds the first.
Wah, aduh, satu lagi.
And it's all up to 1. A second place goes to the Falcons.
Tapi dia dapat elim nggak? Oh, enggak.
And it's not enough. It's not enough for the Falcons. They're happy with the game.
Wah, kurang bro.
Ruling off the back of that. If the nade was slightly to the left there from Ralph, a different story.
Wah, kurang poinnya bos.
And Foot take the chicken dinner in the end of it all. That is
nambah ronde, nambah billing. Sayang banget comebacknya ya, lo ngomong lah ke live-nya. Axel masih lama cok, masih bisa ntar. Gak ada yang tahu. Entah nanti dia comeback lagi masuk rosternya BTR bisa jadi, atau masuk tim lain bisa jadi, nggak ada yang tahu. Masuk RRQ bisa jadi. We don't know bro. PMSL kapan? Masih lama. Agustus September. Sekitar segituan.
Super stressful stuff. You would like to get a smash ruling over on Erangel as well because it is a lot more fair. You can make a lot more deterministic movements on the map.
Masih ada PMNC dulu, entah dia main dari PMNC, nggak ada yang tahu.
Match 3 is just going to all be about getting into that smash zone now for these squads.
Siapa yang tahu, siapa yang mau.
No one's there yet.
I'm just thinking, how many elims did the Falcons get in that final moment? If they got the 3 onto Fireflux and 1 of the flushes, over onto foot, that's 4 elims, right?
Yeah.
So they could potentially have made it, actually.
There was only 2 players from Fireflux that they got, though.
There were... Oh, did they not get that 3rd player? Because there were 3 of them running up. I'm not sure.
So.
I'll have to wait. I think that either way, they're going to be right on the boundary here. I think they might be in first place, actually, from that position, right? Because Regnum Kai are 111. They might be on 112 if they're not. If they didn't make it.
I think they got to 113, if I'm not mistaken.
Kalau lagi bisa jadi iya. Kan kalau dari PMNC, siapa tahu dia mau growing dari PMNC juga bisa jadi.
To make sure for the next match. I'm really interested in what these overall tables are going to go towards. If they were able to find it. If they were able to get even one more elim. If, you know, one of those elims hadn't been stolen away by Fireflux, right, on that northern side. It could have been a completely different situation right now.
Yeah,
Guys, bantulah Siki, like dulu lah. Siki aja Siki. Datang absen like.
Fumbling on that nade of the top. I think he had a lot of time to get more info off the back of it. And he just sent it way
Ada siapa di Discord ya? Let's see ada manusia mana yang di Discord? Tidak ada. Pasti pada minta share screen pilpres ini.
I don't know. Let's take a look at the final blow here because it actually could give us some of that information that we wanted to see. You see the 2 players there from Fireflux. I don't believe too many more coming through. So Madcap finds Ralph.
Okay. Ralph gets catch. And there go all the flushes. A lot of points. And I don't think they got a player there in those final moments.
Finishes up 4 as well. So yeah, I do think that I'm correct saying they're not over the Smash Zone.
Yeah, they might just be 1 point shy, though. Koa getting MVP for the Falcons. 5 elims, 924 damage. And it will be MVP title there, but it's a little bit bitter, given that they could have had it. They could have had that Smash Rule situation.
They could have done. They absolutely could have done. It was very, very close. But to be fair, there is a case where you're looking over towards Falcons.
Tipis 2-0. Bener lah. Madrid kartu merah lagi Hudson. Sayang sekali.
There we go. Here are our match stats with Koa taking those 2 spots. Kairos, 1 nade elim coming on through, but goodness me, it was a really closely fought match. I mean, even Regnum Kaya getting so close to that bubble on that Smash boundary, right? We've got a lot going on going into our match.
Siapa kira-kira penggantinya Sensio?
Really exciting stuff coming on through. A lot more teams now also in contest for that 4th place. The Boars dropping down. S2G in danger. You've got Kara on that rise. You've got Papra Supermassive doing bits. I mean, even Fireflux now are back coming on in. Foot get the chicken dinner. They're kind of irrelevant to this tournament right now. They do manage to get a lot of points there.
Better ikut ke KWC kah? Ikut. Hauka, Free Fire sama Mole Cewek.
Yeah, again, 17 points on the game is not terrible. But that should push them up a little bit further overall. For Fireflux too, they were chasing. We'll see how well they've done. And it is such a crazy grouping on the scoreline, right? Everyone's close to the bullseye here. Let's take a look at some of those replays coming through. Foot starting off pretty strong there. This is Kara going down from... again, it was a very, very messy fight here versus Bra. I wasn't sure exactly what was going on within the team, and then they're not able to bring things through. Regnum Kaya could have maybe taken that same rotation that Barside took over towards the warehouse. Then again, if you are Regnum Kaya and you have the experience over the years of international gameplay, you know firsthand that rotation
Halima ngerti nggak Halima nih?
It does for the first time ever for Barside. Everyone makes it pass.
Gue udah nyebutin tadi ya. Lu nanya PUBG Mobile apa organisasi? Halima ngerti nggak?
That was the one time. Just kind of crazy. And again, that's an interesting.
Indo ya BTR ya. Ada tuh. Onyx, Terakhir.
What sort of playstyle is effective? You do have to a certain degree, play to the lobby, right? In an international top skill best in the world kind of situation, that never works. Like, not even 1 in 100 times does that work. But being aware of the skill level of your opponents is oftentimes more important than the familiarity with the rotations themselves.
I would agree. I definitely agree. I think that for Boars, that certainly has been a big factor for them, hasn't it, really, when it comes down to it. Yeah, a real struggle towards the end here for Falcons. They get close enough, though. And I think for Falcons being up towards the top side of the lobby, you saw that they were all fist bumping away. They were all very happy with how it all broke down. And here's our stats after the back of 16 points there for
Ikut ke WC loh ya. Tadi aku udah jawab tadi. BTR yang lolos Free Fire. Mole cewek. HOK. Itu bukan PUBG Mobile. Ini nggak lolos. Nonton di GH.
6, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, and then 16 and 17. It is wild. It's very, very
Nggak lolos, bro, nggak lolos.
So they only able to get 1 off the back of that game. One more of the 9.
So they got 16 points, putting them on 110.
Apa nggak lolos? Yang penting udah top 3 PMHI. Udah event global itu.
So close now for 2 of those teams. IDA really not getting as much, but they are on 100 points now, so 13 points shy for them. Coming on in, it is going to be so closely for.
Tenang aja, tenang, masih bisa yang disombongkan, masih ada.
Could potentially be a massive game.
Aduh, kurang 3 ya. Coba chicken tadi ini anjing.
What are we looking at here?
RG kurang 2. IDA kurang 13. S7 di bawah bangsat. S7 harus naik sih.
It's only likely that we could see maybe 3 or 4 of these teams getting past the smash boundary in a single match. Obviously, Regnum, Kaya, and Falcons don't need big games here.
Ada jalur lain nggak ya? Nggak ada jalur lain. Tahun depan kalau melolos WC.
3 teams there, they would be looking to get a chicken dinner to be able to break that boundary. So I'm thinking that at the most 4 teams are going to be able to pass that boundary in this next match.
Yeah, we did get clarification that it is just only 113 points you need. You don't need to pass it. You just need to reach that mark. So for Regnum Kaya, that's a cool 2 points. For Falcons, it's 3. So yeah, there isn't a lot to be done for those 2 teams, but there is been many a time where we see 0 points, just the 1 point, and that won't cut it.
Game berapa
really
sebelah?
So there's still
Game terakhir harusnya. Setengah 10.
Another pretty bad game, and I think for them, their run is starting to come to a close for me. I think that last hurrah was sort of yesterday.
Yeah, it did feel like that. And again, we did criticize them, right, in those later games for some slightly poor decision-making, some ineffectual fights that they were engaged in. And it seems like they've had a little bit of return to form for this first start of their final day here. The downturn, pretty ill-timed, especially when the teams above them are racing away right now. We're looking at certainly going to be over 100, it seems, to be able to achieve the 4th place, depending on which match we actually finish on. That will, of course, change based on if there is a smash rule or not. I don't feel like BWNRX are going to be able to keep up pace here if today is anything to go by. We're going to head and take a look at the stadium for a little bit over at the stage whilst we get our match number 4 ready for you guys. Don't go anywhere.
Lots to talk about here. Dare I ask, before we give away some things, predictions for the rest of the day. What's going to happen? How are these grand finals going to unfold?
Şimdi hepinizin en heyecanlandığı anlardan biri hediye dağıtmaya geldik. Çarkımız var, çevireceğiz. Bize çarkta alkışlarla mezarcı eşlik edecek.
Şimdi çark mı çeviriyoruz burada?
Yok, önce sana bir soru soracağım.
Soru soracaksın. Zor olmaz.
Çok zor soracağım. İlk 4 sıralamanı alayım senden.
İlk 4 sıralamada benim kalbimden hep 4 Türk takımı geçiyor. Çünkü ne kadar Türk takımı gönderirsek Riyad'a o kadar güzel bir kariyer olur Türkiye için. Bütün offline'larda burada olması bizi gururlandırıyor. Sen bunu çevireceksen bayağı konuşuyorum gibi oldu. Sen çevirme oraya.
Match keberapa? 3. OTW 3.
Çıkabileceğini düşünüyorum. Falcon salmayacak. Büyük ihtimalle S2G de gelir. Yani bu üçlü çıkar. Ya kendimizi zaten saymıyorum. Onu saymaya gerek yok.
Regnum Karya.
Evet. S2G, Kara ve Falcon.
S2G, Kara, Falcons will be top 4, he says. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's pick someone.
I think we picked some people to win some prizes. Let's do what we did the last few days. We got 1, 2, 3.
Anjing, Diogheres ke Arsenal kayak ini jadi.
We need 3 people to to scream the loudest, basically. Yeah. Should we start on that side over there?
Okay.
Billy, do you
I'll
want to
go
share
there.
with everyone the plan, and we'll get some ruckus, get some
Okay.
craziness going
I'll go
on.
there and explain.
Oh yeah?
Gelmiyorum ben, sen
Sen
oradasın.
burada kal abi. Ben şimdi bu tribüne geliyorum. Şimdi ödülü nasıl dağıtacağımızı ilk 2 gün burada olanlar biliyordur. En çok bağıranı seçeceğim.
Sel buang duit mulu.
Bir dakika. Mikrofona bağırır mısın be? Okay, I picked this little fella. Bu
This
arkadaşımızı
little fella.
seçtim. Şimdi özellikle istediğim bir ödül var mı? Mousepad olur, tişört olur, çanta olur, oyun içi kostüm olur. Tamam, o zaman çarkı çevirelim.
Smash rollnya sama kayak PMA, enggak PMSL.
Mezarcı
Plus
Bey,
10.
çarkı çevirebiliriz.
113.
Dedi
Beyefendi.
ki mezarcı abimden ne gelirse kabulümdür dedi.
Harbi mi?
Should we
Tamam.
spin the
Plus
wheel?
10.
Right, let's spin the wheel. Let's see what happens here. Here we go.
Tam olarak
It's
öyle
spinning.
demedi ama olsun.
Kendimi
Tapi anjim cok, breaknya lama banget bangsat. Yappingnya lama.
Let's see what it's gonna be. It's
Settingan cok.
Geldi kanka.
Atkı
Atkı
güzel mi?
alabiliriz.
Anjim woi. Cok lihat cok, tangannya ngapain cok?
Atkı
Lu
geldi
disorot
kanka.
bang.
Atkı güzel mi?
a bag.
Because he already has a scarf.
Bag
Astagfirullahaladzim.
in Turkish, remind me.
Ulang lagi guys.
Atkı geldi kanka.
Atkı güzel mi?
alabiliriz.
Dedi
Beyefendi.
ki mezarcı abimden ne gelirse kabul
Lihat nih ya.
Harbi mi?
Should we
Tamam.
spin the wheel?
Kan
Let's
harusnya
spin the
spin
wheel.
lepas
Let's see
gitu
what happens
anjing.
here. Here we go.
Tam olarak
It's
öyle
spinning.
demedi ama olsun.
Kendimi çarkıfelekte gibi hissettim bu arada.
Bro nggak sadar kah itu? Disorot ini woi.
See what it's gonna be. It's
What the hell your hand doing bro?
Atkı geldi kanka.
Atkı güzel mi?
Astagfirullah. Event official loh.
So he's saying that I have a scarf already. Can I get a bag?
What's that, Billy?
He wants a bag
A bag?
because he already has a scarf.
What's bag in Turkish? All right, this guy here. What would you like to win? Anything. Anything. All right.
Anjing,
Anything
anjing.
goes.
Her şey olur diyor. Tamam.
Let's have a spin.
Yavaş çevireyim de
Hadi
beklemeyelim.
bakalım
Let's see
ne
what the wheel
gelecek.
gives you. Oh, there's me. Let's see what the wheel gives you. Here we go. It is a
Tatilci seti.
Tatlıcı.
Tatlıcı mı?
In-game kostüm geldi.
You got some
Skin olur
in-game
mu?
cosmetic
Kostüm olur
stuff.
mu?
Happy with that. Very happy.
That's a
Very
nice
happy.
skin.
We're very
Yeah.
happy with that. That's a great prize. Okay, we come back to the main floor.
Evet.
Just for a change, you stand over there.
I'm going to stand on this side.
Yeah, let's change
We're
it
really
just for
we're,
fun.
we're throwing the whole production out of whack here. I like this. Okay.
Evet.
Işte ya kameramennya ngalihin gak sih? Iya
Choose
cok.
someone. Okay, who wants to win something, guys?
Gidelim.
Nggak di brief kah ini?
Burası komple bizden zaten. Bak hepinizi seviyorum. Herkes
Maksudnya biar
renklerle
dapat
tospik
door
falan.
prize ya. Gue nggak ngerti artinya tulisannya apa itu
Bir
guys.
bayan seçmek istiyorum. Şu
Atki,
hanımefendi
Atki.
olsun.
Coba ya.
Ne istersin?
Arti kata Atki
Hiç fark etmez.
bahasa
bize. Ben
Turki.
çevirmeye dönüyorum o zaman. Doğru mu?
Okay.
Sen çevir. Fark etmez dedi.
Shell cok.
Aynı anda çevirelim.
Çevir. Sana doğru.
Bu tarafa.
So what are we
Tamam.
what are we hoping for here, Billy? What are we
I
hoping
don't know.
for?
Ne
Anything?
istiyor?
Fark
Lihat kan
etmez.
ini jadi kayak mereka yang nentuin hadiahnya nih ceritanya.
It's gonna be
Acaba ne
It's
gelecek?
gonna be
Nah, at least yang disorot
It's gonna be-
atasnya gitu bolanya, jangan tangannya cok.
The wind blew. A t-shirt. A t-shirt.
Digeser lagi anjing. What the fuck?
Thanks very much. That's great.
Ulangin ya.
Tamam.
It's gonna be
Acaba ne
It's
gelecek?
gonna be
Oke, ini udah bagus nih.
It's gonna be
Ini udah bagus nih di atas nih. Nah, nggak kelihatan di live.
The wind blew. A t-shirt. A t-shirt, yeah? Love that.
Tangannya loh, anjir, anjir.
Thanks very much. That's great.
Teşekkür ediyoruz
Ben
mezarcıya.
teşekkür ederim. Kendinize iyi bakın.
Eyvallah,
Başarılar
bol şans.
bize.
Thank you so much.
Bir kişilik daha hediyemiz varmış. Versek mi acaba diyor.
Yeah, we down for that?
Ya bence yeterince istemiyorlar,
It's
vermeyelim.
not loud enough.
Teaser. Tadi teaser tadi. Dia berhentinya di teaser nih. Mana tadi?
Better.
Soalnya komentator yang Inggris ngomong teaser tadi.
Okay, you
No,
start from there.
I'll start from there.
Okay.
Jadi kayak ini koordinasinya kan kira-kira kita mau ngasih hadiah apa nih gitu kan. Nah, di situ tuh hadiahnya ada semua tuh. Mousepad tuh kan. Pas mungkin lanjut gitu segala macam.
Okay, let me see. Okay, well, lots of screaming. This guy, just here, we are screaming a lot here.
Gak mau rugi dikasih murah, bukan gak mau rugi, maksudnya tuh kayak jelek aja nggak sih kelihatannya kalau kayak begitu. Gue keinget permainan sesuatu muter-muterin kayak gitu, Cok. Dari udah berhenti tiba-tiba di gitu. Udah kayak roulette anjing.
Another one, Billy. Another one. Let's go.
Second one too.
Huh?
Are you going to pick the second one?
I can do. Here? Where?
Yeah,
Where should I?
yeah, go ahead.
Do you know where? The balcony up here. This balcony, I think we need to give one away out this way. Should I get a balcony up here somewhere? Okay. Let's give another balcony. The balcony up here. Let me see you. The top balcony there. Let me see you. Let me see, where are you? There we go. In the far corner, with the flag there, the far corner. This little dude. Yeah, you, man. Yeah, you. This guy up here. Another bag going up there. Okay, the second one there, done.
The one on the right.
Yeah, on the right.
Şu bayraklı kardeşimizi seçtik. Onun da bilgilerini
That's right.
alalım hediye için.
But we need 3 more.
3 tane daha lazım şimdi.
Go on, Billy. Last 3. Go on, Bill. The Billmeister. Come on. Only time in my life I've ever felt wanted.
Şu arkada beyaz tişörtlü bir arkadaşımız var. Yeşil
Canta apa tadi tulisannya?
şey var.
Itu intinya hadiah-hadiahnya guys, yang di roulette-nya ini hadiah-hadiahnya.
Yeah, great. We need
Jadi
2
mereka
more. Let's
nunjuk
go round
penonton.
2 more times.
Nah, lu mau hadiah apa? Ceritanya ke penonton. Kira-kira lu dapat apa? Nah, baru dia ngerolet itunya.
This is great. I'm having a good time. Hanging out by the wheel, just watching dreams come true.
This guy.
This guy here?
Yeah. İsmi
I'm
ne?
Billy.
Halil'i seçtik. Halil.
Okay, Ali.
Okay. So we need last one.
I killed my bag. Yeah, one more. We didn't go down here. Do you want to go down this way?
Okay.
Yeah,
Ready to
one
go?
more. Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Son bir tane kelmeden.
One more. You thought the grand finals were the main
Tim
event.
Turki ini paling banyak
These
Turki.
Kelme goodie bags,
Turki, Fenerbahce, Fireflux,
like
S2G,
stars in the sky. Yeah. Found
Regnum.
someone, Billy?
Hanife.
Duh, siapa lagi gitu.
For the last spot.
Banyak lah, paling banyak Turki.
Bilgilerinizi alacaklar.
Kalau di PMSL Eropa ini,
Daha
Futbolis.
sonra hediye teslim alanından alıyorlar değil mi? Yanlış hatırlamıyorum.
Boar ini Turki apa enggak ya? Sabar.
I'm asking that they're gonna receive the
Banyak juga pantas rame. Iya, makanya eventnya di Turki ininya.
Each of these Kelme bags are going to be
Apa
available
namanya?
at the gift shop downstairs.
Offline-nya,
Anyone who won
finalnya.
one, being up there or here, you can collect your prizes as with the Wonder Wheel earlier on as well. That was great. That was fun. That was good times. Big shout out to
Falcon tuh
Kelme
masuknya
as
nggak
well,
Turki
providing
sih.
the goodie bag.
Falcon
We'd love to
Eropa.
official partners of the show.
Oh, Boar
Lots more,
Eropa.
maybe of this later, depending on what happens
Oh,
in the
Kara
competition.
Turki nih, Kara ada. Next Ruya, oh ya Next Ruya, Fenerbahce,
You never know.
Bra,
Now we're gonna head on back to the casters.
Supermasif ini. Tuh lihat Turki berapa berarti? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
günün geri
Ya wajar lah.
bilgilerimiz devam edecek. Şimdi analiz masasına geçeceğiz.
Lebih dari setengah tim Turki. Wajar anjing.
Thank you very much to the wonderful wheel that's dishing out all of those prizes.
Sebenarnya
I
acara
mean,
bagus nih,
that's,
cuman
that's
kurang
great
matang jadi
stuff.
kayak kurang
Nice to
prepare.
throw one up
Tiki-takanya
to the
kurang
boundaries
sih,
as well.
menurut gua.
Yeah, very mindful of you, Mr. Adam Savage.
Yeah, absolutely. All those folks over there not getting any love or attention, and finally, someone got themselves a reward on that top side. But yeah, we're gonna be heading over towards our match 3, halfway through the day already.
Jadi
Gives us
kayak
time
rasanya kayak
to
dead
flow
air
by
gitu loh.
over here at the PMSL EU. Alongside with us, as always, is the very faithful and reliable GT30 Pro. Infinix, our smartphone sponsor here over at the PMSL EU on the road. The Esports World Cup, which will be happening through from the 25th of July through to the 3rd of August. So make sure you're picking up your tickets for that too, because we're all heading over. We're all having a good time, and we'll see you there.
Absolutely. We'll be keeping an eye out for who's going to be qualifying. Of course, that is kind of the most important thing right now, those top 4 spots. Obviously, there's a lot of conversation around the Smash rulings coming on through, but it is the top 4 teams that head over to the PMWC to try and grab a spot there. So all important, really, to be able to look towards that. And of course, it's Regnum Kaya who earned that extra spot. We would normally be on 3 spots, but because they won the PMGO, that extra spot is granted to the region, and they are doing their best to earn it right now. They are doing their best to get one of those spots. It might not be the 4th place spot. They kind of want that top spot, it seems, but right now they have very close competition in the Falcons. I think they're 1 point behind.
Well, let's head back over towards the EWC as well. We just covered it a little bit there, but it's 25th of July, as I said before, through the 3rd of August. But what you didn't know is that it is in 2025, which is this year. You are correct. Wow, well done, guys.
Oh, my goodness.
But it will be the PMWC over at the EWC. A very, very fun tournament here, but a very stressful one right now for our teams over in PMSL EU, who are looking for those 4 slots available. And time is running out. Time is running out for teams like S2G. And it would be a huge shame not to see them go through after what has been a wonderful performance over the weeks here for S2G, but they are just not finding those points. Hopefully, they can bring things back up to speed. That we have only had 2 games thus far. There's plenty more to be fought over here in the PMSL EU.
I wonder if S2G don't make it, if we could see SARA back on Regnum Kaya at PMWC.
You know, you're not.
Kan lama kan?
I wouldn't put it past them.
Nih
It's a
Epic
lot of
kesini
ifs, right?
ke gamenya lama
It would also feel
anjing
kind of
anjing.
naff, right, for Toshpik to be like, oh, by the way, we just got SARA back, despite you qualifying with us. I'm not sure. I think that it wouldn't be out of the question to bring him as a sub, or to sort of alternate.
Tuh Bagas aja lagi live UR anjing.
I think that in sort of overall, I feel like SARA, he likes to be part of that IGLing role, and right now it seems like Regnum Kaya have got their groove on when it comes to the game. Although in the first 2 matches, they haven't been able to get 10 points, which is maybe something that they are a little bit regretful of. Even then, though, they wouldn't have been able to win either of these games right now. But if they win this next game, they're going to be kicking themselves, right? To have not been able to find the points that they needed in those last 2 games.
Yeah, there is also a
Ini
case
bisa 4 tim nih kayaknya nih. 3 kayak. 3 tim habis nih smash point kayak.
We hope they make it over towards the EWC.
Trial kemana? Trial apa sih Trial? Orang lagi UR.
SARA on, I think it was January this year, moved over to an inactive role on the team. So there is definitely a big potential for him to be loaned out here, because I think Apollo took his.
Orang lagi pada main rootless kan? Orang dia lagi live UR.
And will be taking over there alongside with Divine, Reiji, as well as Duello. So for SARA, I think he does have a little bit more free reign. Obviously, Reject still holds the contract, but I'm sure they would be happy to loan him out again to Regnum Kaya if S2G don't make it through.
That is if Regnum Kaya want to bring SARA back, right? Obviously, they had great success with him at PMGO. He is a powerful player on the roster, a great mind as well. One of our most expressive players, I think it's safe to say, which is lovely to see. Always enjoy the camera shots on SARA. He's rivaling Redox, I think, in my mind, for most expressive coming on through. But it is a question, right? Do Regnum Kaya want to be picking someone up like that at that time, after they've developed for the entire season as the 4 that they have right now? Will they be able to sort of mend those old ties? Is there any bad blood between SARA and the rest of the Regnum Kaya roster, potentially? Maybe it was Regnum Kaya and they were like, we don't actually feel comfortable going forwards with a lone player, right? They want to have their players on their roster locked in as Regnum Kaya players, not bringing in a loan from outside the region. Potentially, that's sort of maybe more an organizational question. So a lot of interesting dynamics at play, but all of it
lagi
comes down
ngomongin
to whether or
Regnum
not
Kaya kenapa
S2G
bisa lebih
can
bagus, guys.
maintain consistency,
Ketika
right? Because I mean, you said at the start of the day,
minjem
who's the
SARA
most
kayaknya itu
consistent
hal
team in the
yang
tournament?
kadang nggak
Well,
diperluin
S2G,
aja gitu.
sure, during league stage, knockout stage, the start of the finals, they definitely were.
Ya mas saya
But
kan
now,
pemainnya kemarin
four
visanya nggak
games that they had at the
bisa,
end of
makanya minjem
yesterday,
SARA,
starting
bro.
off not really doing too much today as well. There are question marks in terms of their consistency in my mind.
Maybe. I think again. I think when you talk about consistency, it's hard to just be like, well, they've had some off days, so now they're not consistent anymore. I think everyone has their off days. Everyone has their off games. I think it's hard to. I think it's hard. I think it would be cruel to talk about them in that way at this stage of the tournament. It's hard in finals, especially when you have a smash rule in finals as well. It's even worse. But there's a lot on the lines, a lot of pressure been taking place. I think even if they were to do badly for the rest of the day, I think you would still call them the most consistent team here at the PMSL EU.
I think in these finals, I mean, so far, I've just looked through their match record. It looks like they've had sort of 5 solid games over the court, like as in good, acceptable to really strong games. They have had obviously some massive games there. 17 Elim Chicken Dinner, for instance, on day 1, a really huge game coming through from them. But including that, there's been 5 very strong games coming through from them, and the rest have not been that good at all. They've been very low single digits at best. We're up to, what is it now, 14 matches played? Having below 50% of your matches being played like that, certainly, I will give you over the course of this tournament, they are the most consistent team. In the finals, definitely not.
Well, yeah, okay. It's a weird way to look at it, in my opinion, but sure.
I
mean,
I just have been disappointed with S2G.
I mean, go look at other teams as well.
Okay,
and like,
yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Look at Ragnar Kaya, for instance. Like, how many of them have been really good games?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then they just had that pretty decent game on the last one. They got 6 points. Won't count that for argument's sake, but 8 out of 14 sounds a hell of a lot better than 5 out of 14.
It's only 3 more matches. I mean, they're ahead, right?
Yeah, but that's a huge amount. Yeah. That's 3 out of 14, which is pretty close to a quarter extra.
Yeah, and now we're also considering the fact that they have had a big downturn.
Jurnal ini bagus suaranya.
Over the last
let's
say half a day, right? And we still don't. You still don't even know what's going to happen over the rest of the day. We've only seen 2 matches.
It's true.
Yeah,
that is true.
Again, I think it is hard to make those statements, in my opinion.
Yeah, look, I'm at least disappointed in S2G's performance. I'll put it that way. Maybe I will accept that you could make a solid case for them being incredibly consistent still. Obviously, they've got a lot of fan support.
Ada masalah apa lagi nih di panggung?
They've got some level heads on their shoulders as well. They've been at that international level for a while now. They know what it's like. They can weather that storm. Our next match, looking like it's just around the corner. I think all our teams are looking to be locked in now, aiming for that trophy in the middle with the starburst lights surrounding it.
I do think that there's a case where I'll agree with you the fact that these past games for S2G have been pretty horrible.
Di stats juga lihat gelap,
15 places going out then is really not
setnya
good.
kurang sih ini guys.
I can't
Set
tell if it's a circle based on
panggungnya.
With how this has been going. A lot of teams are putting a lot more stock over
dari segi lightning.
Circles definitely run some curveballs in there for our teams. Now,
nggak kelihatan apa-apa cok, ruang hantu ini.
Is really where it all comes to bear. And I think that we get to the end of the day and, S2G's got more 16 places then and there. I will probably say that, that this finals just hasn't been great for S2G. They started out strong and that'll have clouded my judgment a little bit. But we'll wait and see. Right now, we are getting over towards our 3rd match of the day. Plenty of teams looking to cross that boundary to head over towards the smash ruling and then potentially pick it up over on game 4, 5, and 6. I mean, there's potential no one gets over it, but it's 3 points.
Nah, ini tugas caster nih guys, tugas caster, tugas host, buying time kayak gini nih, biar nggak
Yeah, it does feel sort of nigh on inevitable now.
Ngomongin yang perlu diomongin sampai ngomongin yang nggak perlu diomongin jadi.
Points needed for Falcons that they won't be able to get up.
Itu lampunya kurang tengah lagi.
In this single match,
Naruhnya tuh.
That they will be doing everything that they can to just get those very minimal point scores. It will be interesting to see how they could do it, how they could get on with it. Looks like our stage is just about being set up now.
Kurang ke kiri bang. Tuh, nggak pas tengah pialanya, Cok.
Into the lobby. I'm expecting to see that plane path fairly soon, Blank. I think that we have got our players in as the referee's just consulting, making sure everything is nice and locked in, nice and fair for everyone.
So what I'm looking for here really is some more strong performances.
Ambilin high lag nggak sih at least?
I think Boars is in a bit of a spiral at the moment because their play style is no longer working as well as they did before, and I think that's due to some.
Doxy came in just in time before the heal or the revive kicked in. And Doxy will get these 2 elimination points. 5 now for Nongshim Red Boss.
Dikit tim Indo. Masa?
It has been pretty difficult for our teams that are being given these opportunities. I think that it is always pretty onerous to have a circle center up right on top of you, right? As much as, you might be pretty happy about it, it then becomes your responsibility to make the most of it, right? Because that's like your big opportunity, your big chance to put up a 15
Gue tadi tuh udah mau mulai dari game 1, guys. Jujur ketiduran lagi gara-gara ini, Cok. Lama banget anjing.
I think there's a lot that goes into it, and it's also very contingent on the surrounding terrain and the surrounding teams and how they hold.
Gue bangun kan tiba-tiba udah Sunhawk game pertama udah tengah zona. Udah zona berapa tadi? 4 baru mandi. Baru start live
as well. It is very, very difficult to make that consistently correct. Taking a look at the stage, it looks like we're still getting a little bit of something for Fenerbahce. I think that was Tyler from Fenerbahce. Gonna jump up the stairs. Maybe one of his teams needs a bottle of water. We'll see if they're able to stay hydrated.
Yeah, keep them good to go. He's heading back into the lights behind the stage. He's looking fantastic. I'm getting hypnotized by these lights.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Occasionally when someone walks past it as well, and it just sort of like slightly shakes, man, that's the real one. It's actually not a light, it's actually the trophy itself that's doing this light. 100%.
That's correct. I think we should be getting into game fairly shortly, though.
One would hope.
I feel like it should be coming, like right now. Yeah. 10 seconds.
I bet it's going to be like 6 seconds.
There you go.
Okay. All right, ruin the illusion. Fine, as we are going to head into Erenkel for our 3rd map of the day. We are into match number
Alhamdulillah.
15 of the final set.
Puji Tuhan, akhirnya mulai anjing.
Can pass
What
that
the
smashing
fuck?
point boundary. We said before it could
Let's
be
go,
up
guys.
to 4 teams in this match, reasonably, with 2 teams very, very close, with Regnum Kaya and Falcons, 2 and 3 points away respectively, and then you've got teams up towards that 100-point mark that could also reasonably jump on through, and others on the outside chance with the chicken dinner could also do it. We'll have to wait and see as the plane path hits the west side.
S2G out nice and early over towards Primorsk as we head up and over the top. Rozok in clear sight and view of the boys over on Regnum Kaya, and
Di sini match point, nah baru
midway through the plane path.
next game selesai.
Nice and easy for them. Fenerbahce, on the other hand, heading over towards the western side of the map alongside with POWERSUPPLY. But fairly reasonable. I think most teams drop around this area anywho. So it's not going to be too drastic. I think for Black Esports and Bra, it does cause some problems for them. Bra does need to now contest with POWERSUPPLY for South George. But I think they've really got a choice. They can't head down towards Mill to Power.
Yeah, they will just have to contest in that area, unfortunately. But you imagine that they're going to be a little bit more prepared for it, right? The first time it happened, you can kind of understand. Hang on a minute. It's a military zone. That is all the way down on the south
S2G bisa
side.
jalan.
What a way to challenge
Next
these teams
Ruya
to fight
ngisi dulu sih.
their way past that smash
Falcon
boundary, right?
bisa
To see themselves safe
pocin, tapi gerak
with a
cepet.
chance to win it all in a single match. We are
Si
gonna have to go over the bridge. We're gonna have to
Regnum
go
di mana?
fast.
Regnum. REG. Oh, Rozok anjing jauh jalan lu ya.
Straight away, starting in very peer. Ida as well towards Gaka. They're going to make a run for it
Main
too.
PR
But
tuh
BW
kan.
Interactive
Regnum
will be
apa?
over
Next
much
Surya langsung ke bawah
faster
ngisi.
than them. Likely a fight will
Ngisi lah
break out
daripada
between both of them
telat.
unless one
Ida
sends
juga
left
mau
and
masuk
the other
tuh.
goes right. But
Langsung ngisi tengah dia.
SUG, how do they want to play this one out? Do they want to send over towards the eastern side or not?
SUG
That's the
pakai
question. I mean,
kapal ya
normally
ntar.
when we see them play from this position.
Kalau nggak mau resiko ya, kalau ada kapal.
They grab a boat, they get across, right? Either they're going to be able to start to get across the bridge. The question I have is, what weaponry does BWNRX pick up before they just go for those vehicles and get across? I don't think it's enough to convincingly go for a bridge hold, and I think they're just going to fade away, go for a little bit of loot, because you lose a lot of time in a fight that you don't necessarily feel like you can win convincingly.
No, absolutely not. It's one of those things where you come into close contact. And I mean, teams will have picked up maybe like mini 14s, it's the iron sights on it, and take some pot shots at one on another. But you do want to break wide in that situation. For a lot of other teams, they're going to be down towards the southwest side, waiting to make their way across, like you say. Making sure to get those vehicles on board, those boats on board to make this work.
Everybody moving fast here, Blank, trying to get across early. Fireflux, though, seemingly less concerned. They want to play this one late. Obviously, that is kind of the
Regnum
other
kurang
option,
2,
right?
Falcon kurang
You
3,
just take a lot of time and
Ida
go
kurang
through this
13,
late,
Skara kurang
to try
18.
and find your way through on the blue zone, on a bridge fight, and maybe
18.
pick up some points here and there.
Setuju
Taking a
banyak.
look at the standings, of course, just to remind everyone, if you get 113 points,
At least Setuju nempel stack 4 sih kalau mau PMWC.
That will put you in the smash point zone, which means that if you get a chicken dinner on any match after you
Ini
break
match ini
past that
bisa
barrier,
3 nih kalau
or land
Ida
on top of
Falcon
it,
Rek.
you will win the entire
Nyala.
tournament. No matter what the point standings say, if you win a chicken dinner and are past that smash point barrier, you win with first place, a qualification spot to PMWC, as well as 35 grand for just that chicken dinner.
It's a lot. It's a lot to get. Regnum Kaya.
Chicken 103, kill 10. Setuju harus chicken kill 10. Ya, suaranya hilang. Makasih loh.
Kara going to be leaving from around that farm area, getting across on the hovercraft. The hovercraft really has changed up how Military Island rotates go, and you can see S2G going to be employing one as well. Before, it was always a case of, oh, let's get in a boat, we're going to have to try and get across and then find some vehicles afterwards. With the hovercraft being able to play on both
Tuh,
land
bener kan
and
ya,
water,
overboard.
you of course can get
Overboard.
across, you can make some
Jalan
road
dia,
inland
setengah
as well,
SMB.
not being on foot. Get to those vehicle spawns, get to those buildings and compounds as well. Falcons on a bridge camp. They
Falcon
only
nungguin.
need 3 points here. Blank
Falcon nungguin.
Fenerbahce may be delivering it straight
Dapat
to them.
1, ini
Savian
kenok juga
will go in.
harusnya.
Solke is the first to get knocked. Out on the bridge, Ralph looking to try and
Ya,
hold this.
Ri.
Just about sidesteps another vehicle, but they only get the 1 point
skip.
here. It looks like the rest of them have made it away. Savian
Dapat
falling.
2 sih
Okay, so
tapi.
2 points found for the Falcons. They are now 1 point shy of that smash boundary. They're on the hunt. They want it. Desperately, Redox trying to challenge it out, but can't quite find the shutdown. Not just yet. 112 now. The Falcons take first place, but they're 1 point shy of the boundary.
Again, still, you want to push that a little bit further, though. And chasing for these points, the risk of your own lives could be the part of your tournament end where there are so many teams chasing. You really are that
1
far
poin lagi
behind
Falcon.
all the way down towards 6th place with Balls on 93 points, tied up with S2G. So yeah, a serious potential here for them. The Falcons getting 2 there, 112. I think that they're much more comfortable now. Just the 1 elim, that's a very doable task.
Or a placement point.
Or a placement point. You are right, John.
Dapat 1. Setuju.
S2G.
Gila, setuju mencari. Cari defisit poin yang tertinggal jauh. Next Ruya nih
is going to
dimakan.
be anything to go
Cabut
by.
dia.
When he hops into the buggy, they're going to give up the Ghost on their forward position. High ground, completely claimed by S2G, and actually minimizes the points that have been earned by them. As he hops in the vehicle, allows Icy to clean up.
Ini bukan IC temennya top ya guys ya, beda. Banyak yang mikir IC temennya top, cok.
It's not looking likely for them going forward. Capri's taking shots over to the bar site. Nobody will drop down. I think he just ticked over from drown damage on top of the bullets been sent through from Capri's. We'll clarify there for you, John, before you tell me off. Salonic, the distance, will finish off nobody.
Yeah, I'm going to pick up these points, it looks like. I don't feel like they're going to be able to get away as soon as that boat goes up in flames as well. They're trying to swim out of range, but yeah, it's just going to be open season. We've talked a lot about this top side, but we haven't talked about the teams that could potentially have a big game and jump up to be in that field as well. That does include K1. I'm looking at BWNRX, I'm looking at Fenerbahce, I'm looking at K1. All of those three have the chance to, with a big game, put themselves back in that conversation. So still down to 11th place, could make it up to 4th.
It's crazy. It is crazy. There's a lot of potential for so many of our squads here. Para losing 1. Too fun. Borslow opening up over towards Fireflux. I think at this rate we'll have to leave Solos behind. I think it will be very, very difficult to pick him back up, and Critical will find that point. It was in 94, so not allowing S2G to get too far ahead here.
Interesting from the Boars. They were holding around the mouth of the bridge, right? They spot Fireflux. They actually run that down. They were holding there for quite a while, so it's not like they've just arrived at this location. And that
Mamam, Falcon ketemu. Oh, Falcon ketemu S2G.
What they like to do, right? They spot something and they just go. They just have that signal. They send on in. Falcons, potentially losing a player as the circle shifts out to the east side of the island. I don't think you can get Redox back up here. And this is, again, Redox going down first for the Falcons. Ralph may be looking to suppress, but S2G
Falcon butuh 1 poin lagi nih kalau mau smash point
on this game to be in that smash point zone.
Not long distance they have to go. Really quite a short sprint for them. 1 elim would be the nicest way to do it. I think getting over towards top 8, not always ideal, but certainly possible. Especially down here on Osnovka as well, where we do sit ourselves over towards that eastern side. There's a bit of an awkward shift where most teams did push in on the west, and then we moved so far over towards the east, benefiting over towards K1 and Bra as well, I suppose.
Ida made their way across as well. Kara is sitting pretty central here. Decent position. Feels like they do know how to get through these situations. Falcons taking shots from Regnum Kaya. That would be quite a turn up, wouldn't it? If, well, in an engagement between Falcons and Regnum Kaya, both of them could, in theory, surpass that smash point boundary, even if they both go down.
Hari terakhir, betul. Ini tiket terakhir juga nih kayak PMWC. India udah kelar tadi. Mena udah kelar kemarin. Jadi 4 tiket terakhir PMWC dari sini.
Regnum Kai is a really good space on the map as well to
play. Di situ udah nunggu PMWC tanggal 25.
It's a perfect position to get started on your games here. TTQ is coming across from the water, starting from Shark Fin, heading downwards. So they do have Silas currently trolling the beachhead.
Paling mereka berangkat 14 kali, 14 kayak mungkin. 14 tambah 7 21. Tanggal berapa ya?
It's all coming down to single points here towards the top, Blank. And you can remember as well in that last game, a couple of elims got snatched away from the Falcons. There were some blue zones shenanigans as well. If they'd been able to pick up another player from Fenerbahce, those Rays had been slightly more on target on that bridge crossing.
25 Juli, ya.
So different. Anything
sampai 3 Agustus toh si PMWC. Yang
or for that matter, Regnum Kaya, if they'd have gone for that crossing.
Setuju orang baru semua.
But what's done is done, and they need to focus on this game. They need to keep their heads in the game as well. You can't let it override your nervous system. You need to keep cool, keep calm, collected. K1 have more of a fight to be getting on with as well, but it looks like they're
Tadi
going to
berapa?
lose a
S7 harus
second player
chicken kill
there
10 ya.
at a pretty crucial position as well. They do have the top of the mountain though, on the east side of the military island.
Falcon butuh 1 poin lagi buat smash point. Poinnya update guys ya, langsung ditambah itu. Kecuali placement. Kalau placement nunggu mereka mati, baru di plusin placement. Elimi langsung nambah itu.
It's been a tough break for them. They've been looking to try and get up towards that top side. It's just not happening. Fireflux getting picked apart by the Boars, who've been chasing them down for quite some time here. This is over towards that western side as Fireflux attempted to make their way across. It didn't pan out for them. Was getting gate kept earlier and now being the gatekeepers. So close to one of those Regnum carrying Falcons. Quite amusing.
I wonder if they know. I wonder if they know who it is. What could be? Regnum Kai should know that the Falcons were playing sort of around this location. They should have seen that elimination feed. You might be mildly aware that it could be the Falcons. I think the Falcons are less likely to know that this is Regnum Kai yet. They haven't been involved in any fighting just yet. They do have that outpost off to the northwest side as well. Loxy just keeping sightlines out towards the northern shore. Boars moving up. Tulika scouting out towards the outpost for S2G. S2G right now are in 4th place. They have managed to win on that tiebreaker. Over on 4th place with Kara and with Boars, all on 95 points.
Ngepick mulu. Kara naik ke 4.
Another time and time again. More points go through. Again, that 4th place slot just interchangeable all the time. Bra goes up against Foots and the fight does conclude. Foot will go down and Bra picks up a couple of points here, trying to drag themselves out from 16th, sorry. Will be a tough task. Let's see if they can make it work. But Kara is benefiting off the back of this one for along the way.
Kaya. And Falcons all chiming in towards Boards.
Falcon
They're picking up points here, potentially. Valor with more as well. They're looking for even more. There they go, Falcons. They found that point. They're over the boundary. They get one more to boot. They've done what they needed to do this match. The question is how far of a gap can they put between them and everyone else? And will they try and deny other teams the opportunity to do just what they've done?
It's hard now. It's hard to figure out where teams are playing though. That's the only thing. Falcons will know exactly where Regnum Kari is. It's not often.
Smash point kan saya dulu yang make, baru region lain make.
Play out. No one really has set positions. It's all dependent on timings. So denying teams is hard.
Apa yang belum? Udah dong. Oke, Regnum butuh 2 poin buat smash point nih.
Have too much information. This circle
bisa kali tuh, still 1, still 2 tuh depan tuh.
There, as well as the positions towards the south side for BWNRX, which I think, do they have reduced players? I think they might have lost 1 or 2 potentially earlier on. Have to wait and see. They did lose one.
Ini chicken nggak kelar ya. Si ini harus next match.
So they could potentially be
chicken
a little bit
baru.
more easily run down. But Kara are earning points pretty
Kalau
consistently
next
here
match
as
chicken
well.
baru
In the same sort of area that Regnum Kaya might be.
Falcon juara. Next ini match ini nggak chicken, match ini chicken belum juara.
Falcons. One shot over towards them. 112.
Maksudnya point kill nggak langsung ke jumlah total. Masuk.
Ralph as well as Koa.
Masuk, udah.
Down the hill. They know they're so close. They can taste it here.
Udah loh.
Still playing it fairly safe, which I respect.
Udah dipakai.
Being very cautious going forwards.
Skip kali lu.
We've had our first team over the boundary. Regnum Kayo now 1 point away from doing the same. With Kara and S2G. Looking to try and jump up with a big game here as well.
Iya,
they don't have too far to go.
Kalau udah
Supermassive on a bit of a mad dash on in. They
TPA-nya
could
udah
potentially
dipakai.
with a big game jump up, but not right now. They are getting cut across
Aman.
pretty awfully. Thunder Talk as well chiming in on this
Karena
northwestern
udah lama
side.
kelar kali ya, jadi lupa mungkin kamu Ahmad. It's okay.
The team really with a massive hope of getting
No
too
worry,
far,
bro.
but there you go indeed. Regnum Kaya have found that point that they were looking for. Now they're on the hunt for S2G.
Taking plenty of shots out to many teams. S2G, IC will run down wild, leaving them in a little bit more of a difficult spot. Plenty of rundowns coming through. Rita, in fact, finding Madcap off the bonnet.
I see.
Up towards Loxy. That's an easy pickup there. Over
Masuk lagi. Wah, udah mau meledak mobil.
Dancing around the hovercraft.
The Falcons losing Koa on the drive-by as well. Regnum Kaya starting to get chipped away. S2G all too happy to pick up these points.
Regnum Kaya udah masuk ya. Smash point.
Get further into the circle. Is this Ida? I think from the south side chiming in as well. They're putting in pressure from this south edge, and S2G do need to be worried. That red line is pretty good on the sight lines down towards this fight. But Ida turning around now, taking a little bit of distance, a little bit of time.
Wow.
It's okay. Nggak apa-apa. Next match bisa.
Over towards Silas, in fact. Really well played.
Oke, udah 6 elim nih. Setuju nih. Butuh 4 lagi terus chicken.
They get 2 points. I said it wasn't too insurmountable, but felt like it kind of was there. But they have made the smash zone. That's all that really matters now for Regnum Kaya. They're over the line. For S2G, great result. Up towards 4th place once again now with 99 points total, 6 elims on the match, looking to take this a little bit further. They will have to hold out Ida, who currently in 3rd place, which allows them to jump up a little bit further on the leaderboard too, which would be very beneficial for SDG. Not quite over the 100-point mark, just 1 point shy.
SARA on a mad dash with the blue zone at his back. He's really isolated here. Does manage to dip behind cover, and Ida are going to have to move off this off angle. Can heal out in the blue zone still. It is stage 4. The next zone just about to pop, but this west side is deciding so much of these tables, Blank. Every team, it seems, towards the top side of the tables has a
SARA masih bertahan di luar zona.
Falcons diminished now down to 1, but of course they've done the work that they needed to do. You can see Ralph now just ahead. I'm really interested in what Kara are going to be able to extract from this game. Look at the circle. It's pushing so hard over to this east side.
Si Kara bisa naik juga nih.
It's not a fun circle either.
Tengah zona dia.
Dips down towards the beach side, so it's a bit of a terrain to play around. For S2G, their biggest opponents right now is Ida. The fact that SARA is able to get out, finds a vehicle and swings out off towards the side. Can't tell how healthy that vehicle was though, but you know, he makes it out. That's all that matters. K1 goes down in the process, leaving a lot of important teams in our final end game. POWERSUPPLY, BW, NRX, Boars, Kara, S2G, Ida, and the final player from Falcons just hanging on as long as possible.
Well, they will have done enough so far to get over that smash point boundary with the potential of an instant win. Going into match number 3. Spray down for S2G. Challenge, not good. Icy falls and gets flushed, so they're down to 3 players now. Severely diminishing their potential here in this match. They're sequestered out to the west side and do need to fight through this one. They need to stay strong. Ida, it's the same story, but they're crashing into Kara. A challenge for these top spots, for these 4 qualification areas, and Kara winning this one out handily so far. Darkin with a nade in hand, doesn't get tagged by the first, but the nade goes off, and it will take him down in the meantime. I think that will take down CEO later with the nade, but they're more than happy to find that one sent in. POWERSUPPLY just across the way, though, tearing through Kara in the meantime, and now it's just Lewis.
Yeah, Bra actually chimed in towards that one, taking some shots towards them. Ida upstairs, looking to hold on. I think there was a res that came through. A reset. Oh my days, Lewis!
Through the smoke, can't thread the needle, does get another knock, and actually does manage to take the 2 players downstairs out. Another nade sent on in, but that doesn't tag on. S2G are just across the road from this now, Blank. They have sent in towards the middle. How many players have they got left? They're still on 3. I don't know if all 3 of them are in there, but we'll have to wait and see. It's still just mad reses coming on through for Kara. The challenges around this third, 4th, and 6th place spots are crazy. They're getting hot, and Rita wants to keep things boiling, but he will go down as Lewis is on the swivel. With a nade could change things up. He just needs to find it through the door frame. Lewis trying to evade, but will not be there in time. Eliminating their competition.
Nice one for Ida. They really want to keep Kara down there, but S2G continue to climb. 7 elims on the game, looking for some more. 3 players alive. The only other 2 teams with 4 are Bra as well as Black Esports. 2 teams that I think a lot of squads aren't very afraid of here, but in this circle they could have some big impact going forward. Looking at the way this one's lining up, this is the position on the map that most teams would like to play around, which has the compound still in play, but we're about to shift here over towards a new spot in the circle as we head through to stage 6, and a lot of teams praying, hoping that it keeps these compounds in.
I'm interested about these hills to the north side of these compounds, Blank. I feel like they could be pretty impactful. BWNRX, I feel like this may be terminal for them. The nade overhead from Ezel looks for more as well. I just don't think you've got the cover to be making that one work. Frozen going down. Very low. Tags sent back his way. I think that's actually from S2G. Maybe even IDA from across the road. But a roadblock for BWNRX, who again, falling short of the mark. The next circle, further up to the north.
Cuts S2G in though. A little slice of the pie is important here for them. Staying in those buildings gives you so much control, so much advantage inside of this circle. It's nice. It's very, very nice. A lot of teams around here the importance of those buildings.
Ada angle lain. Ih, sakit banget zonanya.
Aaron picks that one up at distance. Aaron and Darkin still in this game, playing alongside another open. Now are back again here towards Mayhem. Surprisingly enough, they get Rita as well as Darkin back up on their feet. I did not expect that. It all comes from a slightly awkward nade from Lewis, which ultimately ends in their downfall. Falcons will lose their final player there, leaving them on 114 points, but they made it over the line.
In first place for now. They will end their game. IDA and S2G looking to try and change that. They do have the option to. They do have that opportunity. With IDA feeling fairly safe for now, we do have a little bit more to go, and it looks like they're going to try and flex out west, try and third-party this. Okay, they want to rock up onto the western edge. Black Esports a little bit further. The Boars are sandwiched in between, and Narita has earned a lot of space with this wide flex out. A nade over towards the compound for S2G.
Stack 5, 3, stack 2,
hovercraft
3
there. The rest of them
lagi
trying
si
to get
Ida.
across the road as well. In the meantime, Sulika for the Boars holding things down, but he's the last to stand.
Baru
We've got to
smash
imagine
point.
Bra are going to be able to seal the deal here, but Ida crossing the road, that is big news. S2G, a nade over, and Ida
Nggak dikasih main
fight
S2G.
against S2G.
Sisa 2.
Very, very low. And they'd be ruining S2G's chances in the rest of this match. They're picking
Sisa
up the
1
points
aja
here, Blank.
S2G.
They've taken a knock and a second as well, and there is still Kelsey to deal with, and that is one hell of a hurdle to cross. The spray down over towards Ida draws them short on 109. They do not get to the boundary, but it's just the one player now standing. I think we're going into match 3 with only 2 players in that zone, but there is still potential for S2G to ladder up pretty far here. They are 11 points short. Unfortunately, that means that they do need to do a lot of work, and by they, I mean just Kelsey.
Saya sendiri susah.
There's a lot of teams that are struggling here, and for Black Esports as well as Bra and BWNRX, these teams are likely to face up against one another sooner rather than later, and Kelsey might just be able to use a couple of these eliminations away. There should be a lot of death crates around that area that he can pick through, pilfer, and get some nades. One man with 6 or 7 nades can be a really big problem for quite a few teams. We can see his here, he's right on the edge. It's going to be hard for him to leave.
Ih, ragu gitu.
And of course, remember, you desperately want to be up in those top 4 every game from now on, because it could end in the next match, Blank. With 2 teams having that option, having that opportunity, you can't afford to drop out of the top 4 at any stage now. So for S2G, they're looking to defend, get as far away from Kara, who are right behind them, as they possibly can. Kelsey has it all to do here. Bra wanting to stop him. You got to think that Tron has to go first, though. And Kelsey breaks out. He's making his move.
Susah sih kalau sih ketangkep dulu nih harusnya. Jadi Falcon yang top, yoi. Ini udah 2 nih smash point nih. Falcon sama Regnum. Setuju, sayang banget sisa 1. Kalau masih berdua ya bisa chicken.
Waiting with the nade, waiting for the jump out. Tron is holding.
Kurang 1 kill lagi terus chicken.
He's just waiting for the peak.
Mati zona dia.
Doesn't pick up that point, but he gets the extra placement now as we're into our top 4.
Ya, mati
they have 9
S2G.
elims on S2G.
Gagal
102 points.
smash point.
And Rolex definitely saw that run out. Kelsey now with the challenge close by. I wonder if he spotted Rolex, but he's completely dead to rights here with a swash on the off angle. That should be him gone down and out. They will finish on 106. They are now 7 points ahead of Kara on that 4th place bubble. If it ends right now, they would make it, but they've still got at least another match to play here.
Pretty nice though for S2G overall. With 106 points ahead of Kara, who are starting to feel the weight of these games on their shoulders. You can definitely tell that for them. There's a lot of nervous players coming through from that team. BWNRX looking to make a mad dash around the corner. They could
NRX
set
step up.
themselves up alongside with the likes of Boars
Hari
and
ini
Kara
mayan.
after this game if they're able to
Kemarin
have a clean
bau.
sweep and a chicken dinner. It's asking a lot though. It's asking a lot from that
Dewan
squad.
iya.
Definitely is. I think BWNRX, I mean, to jump up to be in contest, they'd need more points than are available right now. With them being 3 of the remaining players, there's only 5 more points they can earn. I think they need something like 26 points or something on this game. And there's just no
Kayak
way that
percuma
they can
juga
find that.
mereka kalau nih main.
Oh, I just mean that in terms of like fifth,
Kayak udah
sixth
habis satu
place.
game ini,
Yeah, no,
nggak tahu dah
Kara.
bisa chicken nggak?
Yeah.
Tapi masih wrangle sih
I'm
habis
not
ini.
saying first
Kelihatan.
place that would be a win.
No, I was given more context.
Bisa
there. I
keskip
mean,
sama dia loh.
even to get up towards that area, right? They need a whole heck of a lot of
For
points.
V3.
And now they've been denied yet another elim and a nade sent over by Brat. They have full control of this circle. I'm surprised that BWNRX have gotten this far. Looked like they might have been dead to rights earlier. And they are really flagging in terms of those med suppliers. You could see how much punishment they've sent their way. Zedwolf with barely any ammo as well.
It has to be a very clean fight versus BWNRX, and they're caught on the outside of the circle. BWNRX just don't have the angles, and Bra has this full lineup.
Masih ngantuk.
It's just going to have to be clear elims across the board. And with this lineup, it's very unlikely. Now, you are going against the 16th place team, so that's your favorable approach, but you're doing it with absolutely nothing. So the scales do even out slightly.
Definitely do. 3 nades for Quantum, though. I feel like that's the moneymaker right there. Quantum just needs to tag with 2 of those nades, or maybe even 1 of those nades, and it feels like it becomes just pretty much a guarantee. Even Frozen, super low ammo count across the board for everyone. It's unhappy. It's unhealthy for the BWNRX health bars. And they're just going to have to go for something mad. They don't even have smokes to play this one. They used them all on the roadside earlier. And getting into a second place, I mean, that is probably as good as they could hope for here. Zedwolf goes down first. Brat just picking up these points, picking up these elims is good news to maybe not be at the bottom of the tables at the end of it. But the nade goes long, over towards Kine. Looks like Swash is going to isolate Frozen as well.
Low.
Take him down very, very low. They're just going to spot him out, spray him down. Not too much more that you can do about it. There they go. And Brat cleaned things up, finding a chicken dinner. Match number 3.
But a big points vacuum down towards the bottom of the lobby, right? That does suck up a lot away from squads towards the top that really did want those to get ahead. But during all of that, we had a big story to tell, which is that Falcons and Regnum Kaya have made it past that smash boundary now. 1 win, and it will be done and dusted going forward for both of those teams and everyone else in this lobby. We'll see how well they can do it here. I'm imagining we're going to be going towards a short break after we take a look at all these stats, whilst these players can cool off and come back clear-headed to potentially pick up that win there and then.
Absolutely. It is really important now, more than ever, to keep that level, to keep that mentality strong, nice and safe into these next few matches. Because, of course, as I said before, right, being in the top 4 is all important now. Every single match could be the last one, which means that you can't let it slip at all. It's not a question of, oh, we've got 1 more match to play. You just don't know. You just don't know how many more matches
kita
you're going to be able to
tahu
play. So
berapa
getting into that
kelarnya.
4th place now and staying there.
Smash point ini, tapi udah 2 tim smash point.
For S2G on that game, it was a very important game for them to bring their point scoring up towards that top side of things and get themselves in towards the top 4 in the first place. IDA, though, I am incredibly impressed, and I'm glad to see them there at the top of the lobby. But yeah, I think for the boys over on S2G, it's a case of that was a relief of a game for them, let's put it that way, and to get themselves back up towards the top side. And it could all end this next game. You are absolutely right, John. I think for Regnum Kaya and Falcons, there is a massive weight that just got released from them, right? They're no longer chained and sinking in the water. They're getting a breath of fresh air at the top. And I think now it's a case of all they have to focus on is getting high point games and all that chicken dinner. And if that means that you play a really slow match, no elims, no nothing, and just play center, get a chicken dinner off the back of that, you just win.
Yeah, You win the whole thing there and then. Doesn't matter if you're ahead, if you're behind in terms of those points overall. If Regnum Kaya blast out, they get 27 elims, but come second to Falcons with 0, they still lose, right? It doesn't matter at this stage. I just did a quick number crunch there. The Falcons and Regnum Kaya between them, if you just look at these finals, have won 2 out of the 15 matches, which puts them at about a 13% win rate when you add both of the two teams together. So they're sort of a very presumptuous and fairly naive approach to determining the probability of ending in next match. We're looking about 13% chance, which is not a lot. Let me tell you, that is not a lot at all. That's about an eighth of the time, pretty close to that sort of boundary you're expecting that to happen. So about 1 in 8 is the probability that we're going to see the tournament end in this next match, in match number 4 in Erangel.
Yeah, again, it's like roughly just a 10% chance. Let's throw it that way. 9 times out of 10, they're not winning. And I think that, you know, when you put it that way, it is a little bit stressful for these teams. But it all depends on the circle. It also depends on playstyle as well, because, like I said before, if you do just rat it out and just go for a chicken dinner off a game like that, then yeah, there is a much higher possibility of you getting a chicken. The reason why we see a lot of teams going down and not getting those first places because to them it didn't really matter about those 4 extra points. What mattered to them is the 14, 15 eliminations they're able to put up during that match. When you don't really have that goal in mind anymore and there's only 2 of you here, I think you can afford 1 game to go for that type of playstyle, but 1 game only. You move towards Miramar, the last 2 Miramars, and you've got to give it your all. But I think Erangel's probably the best place to go for that type of play style. It will depend on the first circle. But if there's an opportunity to send center and just sit there for a win off the back of circle look, you're 100% just going to go for that and not worry about the elims in the circle itself.
Yeah, definitely. It's not the sort of thing that you need to do. Although, to be fair, going for elims can also be playing into sort of zonal control, right? I mean, it's kind of... it can be kind of important to clear out the areas around you, and you can't be unwilling to take fights. And often it's easy to sort of fall back on, oh, we just need to control this bit. We just need to control this bit. And you lose out on potentially being able to control a lot more terrain with more influence and more difficulty for the teams around you to try and do anything about your position, rather than allowing teams to get into positions around you and try and have that influence in the zone. But I think you can argue either way. I think it's very specifically dependent on the situation that they find themselves in as to how you're going to want to play that out. And I mean, that's why the IGLs are who they are. I'm not saying where they are. It is definitely going to be up to them. And I'll be very interested to see what Silas is going to bring to the table, what Ralph is going to bring to the table in those very scenarios, right? How are they going to try and make this one work?
Yeah, and what's the decision behind it all? I do think you get 1 game only to go for a playstyle like that. And we'll see exactly how that pans out coming into our next game. This is such an unfortunate grenade coming through from Lewis, by the way.
Kayaknya juara Falcon ini, Regnum gagal juara kayak ini.
Yeah, it's interesting, and I am certainly worried slightly for Regnum Kaya as well as Falcons, where I don't know if they'll get that chicken dinner throughout the rest of the day. We've got to wait and see. For S2G, again, there was a great game. And for IDA, I'd be very happy to see that team go through to EWC. I think they have a lot more. I think their potential is still yet to be capped.
Yeah, definitely could be. I mean, they are definitely giving
susah. Dia belum smash point.
And it is still a very close
kurang 7 poin.
Between these teams towards that 4th place bubble. I think there was a little gap opened there by S2G getting 13 points on the match, by IDA also earning 9 on that match. So they have opened a little bit of a gap ahead of Kara, who did go down fairly early, but they still got 4
Falcon sama Regnum
as well, only getting 4 points and not really able to do too much on the chase. Brat getting 22. We'll see them up to, I think, 60.
Jangan smash point.
Potentially, maybe a little bit under 60 points.
Udah tuh 2 tim aja tuh adu tuh. Siapa yang juara dah? Kecuali tabrak ya.
Getting 10 points on that game as well. Able to jump up.
Aduh, kita santai dulu duduknya.
7 points, and you can see they're on a tiebreaker there. Falcons in the top spot.
Gila banget, baru bangun. Gue juga baru bangun kan. Hujan anjing.
3rd and 4th place behind that smash barrier.
Baru bangun jam berapa tadi? 9.
Beautiful stuff from them. It did just
Kopi
kind
enak
of
nih kan.
reminded me way back when I think it was 2023 PMGC INNO Gaming, who did win their slot into PMGC basically of just City
Enggak sih.
Center.
Gue udah bangun
Which
tadi
is
guys,
why I
match 1
talk
udah
about, like,
bangun kan.
just playing the sector.
Ya pingnya lama
Getting
banget
some
bos,
chicken and stuff
cacicunya.
like that. BWRX are not able to get themselves
Gelo 21
into
bulan
that
galau.
first page, only on 87
Obat
points,
galau itu ada 2 kan.
trying to drag themselves out from the misery underneath. I mean,
Apa ya?
87 is not terrible, but you're getting to that point where teams are starting to pull ahead.
Sholat,
87 at the start
sholat
of the
kan.
day would have been fine in terms of position to try and catch. It's not the case anymore.
Gelo
It is
setia.
unfortunate
Emang ya setia.
that they haven't been able to get
Mage
as
Beton
far as
setia
they
nggak,
would
Mage
have
Beton?
liked. He's starting to get a little bit long in the tooth to try and jump up on the qualifications. I think the bottom of the tables was not Bra, but it was about 58 points, I think, for Barsai on that bottom side of the tables. And when you're
Match
looking at
1
the
udah
bubble
bangun
being
tadi guys.
around
Wah,
100
countdown
points
kan,
right now, a little
setengah
bit
jam.
over that, in fact.
Tidur.
It's going to be really tricky to,
Belum
especially
mulai-mulai.
when teams
Wah
are going to
anjing,
start
Toto
to
udah
cross
mulai.
that
Mandi
boundary.
langsung.
And going into match 4, we're going to see
Kira
two
udah
teams have the
ketinggalan kan.
opportunity with the proximity now of AIDA, STG, even teams like Kara and Boars as well, being able to access that
Nggak ada
smash
duitnya
zone.
jamin setia kah?
It's going to be
Tergantung.
It's going to go way up in terms of probability of
Nggak
seeing
dulu,
an early
nah
exit
nggak
to the tournament.
dulu.
Let's head back to the
Bebas
stage
kalau itu mah.
while we get our next match ready.
Aduh, giveaway settingan lagi guys. Lihat kameramennya L banget, Cok.
Well, probably thinking what a lineup this is, and you'd be right in asking that because we've
Apa
got
sih,
ourselves
Seki?
Optimus Prime here. We're waiting for Billy, who back in a second here.
Ini magang nggak ini produksinya, Cok?
How's your day been here so far, joining us for the PUBG Mobile Europe Finals? You having a good time here?
Yes, it's amazing. I am Optimus Prime.
Yes,
and
you
I'm
are.
really happy to be here.
We can tell that. And predictions for who you think is going to win?
Nggak
the,
diatur
the
dulu
Spring
baru
Finals as
transisi
well?
gitu kan tadi kameranya.
I think I will be victorious.
Yes, you will. And so will the Autobots. Of course, we're joined by Optimus Prime, but Billy's there somewhere as
Tuh
well.
lihat tuh,
What a voice
yang
he's
isi
got.
suara di
As
situ.
well as we're joined by Macaron and Notche as well, who are a wonderful couple that met through PUBG Mobile. Welcome to the stage.
Oh,
I'll
ini
ask you,
PMSL Dead nih berdua ya.
was it through PUBG Mobile?
Kemarin lamaran ya.
Şimdi arkadaşlar yanımızda 2 tane
Sekarang bucinan nih. Ini si Ken sama siapa nih?
Notche ve Makaron. Kendileri benim duyduğum kadarıyla
Sama Wilbert.
PUBG Mobile üzerinden tanışıp daha sonra evlenmişler. Şimdi bir soralım nasıl? Tebrik ediyoruz. Bir soralım bu tanışma nasıl olmuş, nasıl başlamış, ilk kim kimi haritada görmüş.
Şimdi şöyle, ben turnuva sunucusuyum.
Sama Kak Win ambil kan.
Bulunduğum turnuvalarda oynuyordu. Yıllar önce.
Ambil kalau mau.
Sene falan olmuştur. Sonra artık oynamaya geçtim. Ve oynamaya başladığım sırada tekrar karşılaştık kendisiyle. Evet. Bir ay falan peşinden koşturdu.
Hangi haritada koşturdu?
Gerçekten. Erencil'de.
Buggy ile peşinden gidiyorum yakalayayım.
Evet gerçekten ama güzel oldu. Geç oldu. Yıllar aldı evlenmemiz ama güzel oldu.
Yıllar aldı böyle bir yan bakış geldi bu arada.
Evet.
So she was a streamer for a tournament and he was a player. Then that's the first time she saw him playing. Then
Oh, wow.
then she started playing.
Yeah.
And she started chasing around him in the map.
Okay.
It took her many years to get him, but
Yeah.
I think she finally got him.
That's awesome. I love that it's brought you together here. I mean, speaking of which, being here at a PUBG Mobile.
Speaking
event
of
like
which,
this, what is it
speaking
like
by the
for you to
devil.
obviously this game-
Kenapa bahasa Inggris tuh ribet ya? Ngomong-ngomong kayak gitu. Kayak by the way gitu kan. Speaking of the which.
Şimdi şu zamana kadar yani klasik bir soru. Etkinlik nasıl geçiyor? Yani bizce mükemmel geçiyor. Bence seyirci için de etkinlik oldukça iyi geçiyordur. Nasıl geçiyor finaller?
Dia streamer guys, yang
Güzel.
cewek ini guys.
Sizin için nasıl geçiyor finaller?
Bizim için de çok güzel. Tabii eşime de sormak.
Benim için de mükemmel geçiyor bence.
Makaron izin verdi, Noche konuşabiliyor artık.
Özür
Now she let
dilerim.
him speak.
Enjoy the moment.
So everything is fine.
Everything's good.
They're saying that everything is perfect.
Exactly.
Everything is great.
It could be more perfect because we could give away some more.
Nah ini nih giveaway settingan nih, Mas nggak tahu nih sama si Ken. Kita lihat tangannya. Tangannya bakal nakal lagi nggak nih tangannya hostnya nih.
That's perfect.
Should we do that?
Okay.
Okay, great.
Let me tell the audience.
Please.
Şimdi şöyle dedik ki Adam'la önceden bir karar verdik. Madem böyle güzel bir çiftimiz var yanımızda, seyircilerden çift olanlardan seçelim hediye vereceğimiz kişileri diye.
Mana nih? Puter rolet dulu nih.
We got one just over there in the middle.
Are you guys couples?
Are you guys a couple?
Bisa tangannya diberhentiin gini, cok,
There
anjing.
we go. We got a couple there.
The first couple.
Bro berpikir nggak disorot di live kah?
We have our first couple here. Should we ask Optimus? Would you do the honors of spinning the wheel for us?
Yes, I will.
Go for it. Can you see the
spinning the wheel.
Can you see the wheel? Let me help your hand.
Optimus Prime
We're gonna get there.
çeviriyor
spin
sizin
it?
için.
I'll help. There we go. It's
Şimdi
spinning.
oldu.
It's spinning.
İlk çiftimize şimdi ilk ödül.
Wait. Yeah, keep going. There. Yeah, Optimus
Aslan
Prime.
saldırı spaghetti. Hanginiz ister bunu? İkinizi bir. Tamam.
Perfect.
Okay,
We have, I think,
the boyfriend got this.
any more couples that we have here? What do we have couples
Let's give
around
him
us?
another one.
What's that?
Enggak, kalau nggak dapet itu udah nggak dapet nggak sih,
Oh, you
anjing?
want to do two prizes?
Yeah.
Bang ini live bang.
Spin it again, please.
Astagfirullahalazim.
All the way here. This is wonderful. So we're giving
Beyefendiye
away
verdiği ödülü
prizes
şimdi hanımefendiye bir ödül geliyor.
to our couples in the audience here.
Nah, at least disorotnya begini nih.
Sapka?
Itu Optimusnya juga ngen.
Olur mu? Uygun mu sana?
Nice. Good job. Okay. We need two more couples.
Kameramen, lu jangan pindah angle dulu. Ini produksinya observernya siapa sih, tolol banget anjing.
Cheat misiniz?
Stop dulu tuh di angle-nya di situ, di
Doğru söyleyin.
nggak kelihatan, jangan dilebarin dulu visionnya bangsat.
All right, we've got another couple here. Let's spin the wheel, please, here, Optimus Prime. Never thought
Di
I'd
situ
say
dulu
that,
tadi
but
di
here
stop
we are.
nih. Bro nggak bisa manipulatif viewer anjing.
In the audience
Nih
here.
op di sini dulu nih. Tep, jangan dilebarin dulu. Itu kan kelihatan.
Şapka olur mu? Uygun mu sana? Olur.
Nice.
Tamam. Teşekkür
Good job.
ederiz.
Okay. A t-shirt.
T-shirt.
Di stop lagi anjing.
Another couple.
Go and get a couple for us. Go on, Billy.
Işık alabiliyor muyuz buraya?
Nggak ada fair play-nya ini babi lah.
Where are our couples at here to give away some fabulous
Şuradalar.
prizes?
Enggak ya, daripada rolling kayak gini ya, menurut gua biar nggak malu. Kita punya hadiah 3 t-shirt buat 3 couple. Udah jelas gitu. Daripada kayak dikasih harapan kayak gini nih.
Oh my god.
Apa yang paling mahal ya?
Should we have, do you know what? Should we have
Mousepad.
let's have macaron spin the wheel. Do you want to spin the wheel with
Nggak tahu
Optimus
gua
Prime
artinya
together?
bahasa Turki, malas ngertiin guys.
Big spin. Go for it. Okay.
For the girlfriend or the wife.
You
Evli misiniz?
have won yours, so that's it. I love Optimus.
Tuh pas yang pasnya digeserin.
And Atki.
5 sene.
Atki shell. Oh ya tadi Atki kita artinya shell.
Geldi size efendim.
I'm really learning my
Müthiş.
Turkish here. This is great. And
Şimdi
Atki, we need one more prize though for this same, the same
hanımefendi için
couple.
aldık.
One
Şimdi
more time,
beyefendi için bir ödül
macaron,
alalım.
big spin. Let's go big spin. Go for it. What do we want to win here? We're going to go for a...
We're gonna go for
Pasnya digeser.
Wait. What's this one here? Tatlici seti.
tatlıcı seti olur mu?
Is that good?
Tişört de verebilirim. Olur mu? Tişört mü?
Kok gua malu ya restream ini guys, anjing.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Where's the t-shirt?
There it is, you want a
T-shirt,
t-shirt.
kazandınız, you
Amazing.
want a
I was
t-shirt.
so lucky.
It's
Optimus, you're
absolutely
bringing good
perfect.
luck to us all.
Ini kayak kalian nonton maraton tahu nggak guys?
Do we have time for one?
Yang siapa yang minum lagi habis ini? Nah, di stop sendiri.
Production, we have one more couple.
Ini yang
I
di
think
spin
one
sih
more
kata
couple.
gua.
Let's go for it.
Okay, just go for it.
Let's go for it. Should we go together?
Okay.
Let's go together. Come on.
You make him involved.
Come on, let's go together.
God.
It's not very often we get to hang out together. So
Var
here
mı
we are.
burada çiftimiz?
Any couple? Do we have any couples here together? But we're exclusively looking for our couples. Where are we at? I don't see any.
There's one.
I don't see any couple.
On the right side.
Where's that there?
Look,
Oh, we got two. We got just down the front here. Looks like we've got two here. Two people here.
you're a couple.
Are you, yeah. Got these two here? I think so.
Welcome yang baru datang, jangan lupa di like guys. Jangan lupa juga kalau punya saldo lebih langsung saja donate, link disematkan guys ya.
I'll come this way.
Buat
I'll
ngopi-ngopi
focus on the
cantik.
window, this way. We got two people?
No, they were not a couple. She was
Ini
like,
membuang waktu banget, lama banget Mr. J. Gue tadi tuh ketiduran match 1 gara-gara ini ya, ping lama.
Pick someone, one more person. One more
Kayak
person.
acaranya tuh nggak ada susunan acara
Whoever
gitu loh.
screams the loudest here, Billy.
en çok bağıranı seçecek. You pick. You're gonna pick.
Me pick?
Yeah.
Okay, let me hear you. I can't hear you. Where are we at? Where are we at? Where are we at? Where are we at? Someone. Let me see. Let me see. Over here. Over here. This fabulous person here. High five. Come on. Okay, here we go. What would you like to win?
Bek.
A bag, apparently. Do you want to spin the wheel, Optimus? Spin the wheel for us.
Spin the wheel, Optimus.
See what we get here.
Rasanya menurutku mewah di Indo, lampunya sih jelek banget ya. Lampunya nggak rata kalau lagi kayak maksudnya lagi off game gini.
Keep going. Keep
Panggungnya nggak kelihatan segala macem.
Yep.
Janta!
Masih bagus Indo stage-nya, jujur-jujuran.
Okay, just
love it.
one more, Adam. But
One
the
more.
couple is going to kick. Going to pick.
Okay,
Not kick.
the couple's gonna pick.
Couple's
Okay,
gonna
I love
pick.
this. I love this.
But they're going to pick from supporters
Let's
of
do it.
Kara.
Let's do it.
Kara
Chatterback memang pel ya, beda lah,
O yüzden
beda human
Kara
resource bro.
tarafından bir alkış alalım.
I know what's
Noche
going on
ve
anymore. This is great. We're just giving away tons
Makaron
of stuff.
seçecek bir kişiyi.
Just gonna stand in, my buddy. Me and Optimus. We're boys for life.
Kan Eropa lagi
Boys for
krisis
life in
parah.
this game.
Sebenarnya dibilang krisis parah juga event lain juga nggak gini nggak sih maksud gue?
Did we get someone?
Seçtiniz mi?
Noche and Macaron, have they picked someone?
I think they did.
They did?
Yep.
They found someone. Okay.
Yep.
Let's spin this wheel, Optimus. Want to spin the wheel for us one more time?
I haven't spin the wheel.
Do you want to spin it?
Yeah. Ben hiç çevirmedim. Bir kere de ben çevireyim.
Here we go.
Atkı kazandık. Atkı uygun mudur kardeşimize?
I think we're showing signs to the...
Yeah, I think the fans.
I know what's going on anymore.
Yeah.
We're just giving things away.
Atkı verdik. Tişört.
Iya gelap banget.
A t-shirt!
Tişört verdik. Özür dilerim. Atkıyı yanlış görmüşüm.
Thank you very much. A big shout out to our wonderful couple there as well. PUBG Mobile.
Penontonnya juga
bringing them
gelap,
together
maksudnya
here.
tuh kayak ya udah kalau lagi main gelap nggak apa-apa, cuman harusnya kan ketika lagi kayak begini tuh zep, terangnya terang banget gitu loh. Jadi ya ada something good lah buat dilihat anjing. Ini nih gelap ya. Nah dia lampu sorot gedenya cuman kesini doang nih.
Is going to be coming your way here. For now, thank you both very much. Thank you, Optimus. We head back to the casters. We have a grand finals to get back to.
Teşekkür ediyoruz tekrar size. Tebrik ederiz, mutluluklar dileriz. Optimus Prime, thank you.
Nice.
8 Temmuz'da oyunları
Enggak, pemainnya tuh
unutmayalım. Çünkü
tadi udah masuk lagi.
PUBG Mobile ve Transformers
Emang
hep beraber
lelet aja lelet.
yeni güncellemeyle
Game per gamenya lelet banget.
yeniliklere başlayacağız.
Setengah jam lebih.
Şimdi
Lihat nih tadi sekarang udah mau hampir jam 11 nih. Baru mau game 4.
Hiç uzatmadan sözü tekrar Tankut ve Scarlett'a bırakıyorum.
Nah, udah nih. Casternya ya
Very
ping lagi
much.
dah.
Giving surprises out to the couples in the audience there. Lovers
Lama
in the
lagi
end
nih.
for PUBG Mobile, but not between our teams because they are bitterly entrenched in battle
Gue
right
tadi match
now
satu kayak
for
begitu
the
tuh.
top 4 spots. And
Udah
of course,
sampai
we have
tidur.
2 teams who are now past that smash.
Tahu-tahu udah
rule
tengah match
threshold.
Sunhawk tadi
That's
kan.
the
Ah udah
Falcons
langsung mandi gue.
and Regnum Kaya, who could both end the tournament right here, right now with a chicken dinner.
That they could. It is right down to the wire right now for two of those teams, and there are teams trying to
Ayo,
catch
kelar
up
yuk, kelar yuk.
and get themselves in a position where they
Mau DF gua, mau DF.
eventually finish out these matches as well come match 5, match 6. But we're officially halfway through the day looking to move into match 4 and see
Kalau
where
lagi
this all
kecapean
takes
ngorok
us
nggak?
in the long run.
Capean
It's
banget
very
baru
cool.
ngorok.
I'm very excited to see it
Saya
all pan
kecapean
out,
banget tuh kayak
with match 4 on the cards right now.
angkat-angkat
Our angle
hubungannya sama fisik lah habis olahraga kayak gitu tuh.
to end things
Ngorok pasti.
for us quads. Miramar gets a
Kalau
little
kayak
bit more
kecapean
hectic.
biasa doang gitu enggak. Tidur
And,
mati lebih tepatnya.
It would be quite interesting to not even see Miramar today.
Mau gempa
right?
mau apa nggak
If we
peduli,
just end
tidur
it
gue.
right here, if either Regnum Kai or Falcons get a chicken dinner on the game that is to come. But going over to Miramar, things could potentially change, dynamics could shift, and more teams could be in that smash ruling, which means that whilst you may want to just be like, okay, I'm going to play more central, more passively. More
Coba
teams
kita lihat
might
ada yang
decide to do
nabrak
just that as
si
well,
Regnum sama
right? You
Falcon
might
ya.
be in for a shock when you see like 5 teams who are all past the smash barrier, all just like try and go to a central location, duke it out, and then one of them comes away with like 17
Buat perpanjang
even 2
round.
players alive, and then they all just go down and don't make it for the smash rule.
Yeah, which at that point, you're not too unhappy with, because it does solidify your position over towards the top side of the lobby.
Sebelum belum kelar, guys.
In which case, if we ended on match 5 or 6 on a different team, you'd still be making it through to EWC.
Oh,
You wouldn't get that 35 grand, but it is a nice place to put yourself at the end of the day. We'll wait and see what happens there, though, because, again, there's a lot of questions to be answered. With only 2 teams in the smash zone,
Ngantuk anjing.
the reliability of that's pretty small. 1/8 chance
60 juta buat Zubi Mendy worth it
to
nggak?
make it through, so 2 out of
Tergantung
16.
gunanya gimana.
But it's weird. It's very weird. It's
Nggak
a
bisa
small,
dia
it's a
ngomong
small chance
transfer
it
itu
is
worth it
there,
atau enggak,
though
bro.
on match 5 and match 6, I imagine that chance will become much, much greater as more and more teams make it in, because it has been so closely fought for throughout all of our squads so far. I didn't expect it. I thought we'd see a lot more points towards the top side of the lobby coming into day 3. No one's really hitting that magical 10-point average here with 100 points. 114, I think it is, being the threshold right now for first place. Despite us being in match 4 of day 3, that's a crazy marker to end on, really.
Yeah, I mean, it is pretty, I mean, it's a lot lower than I would have expected, right, to be on that 4th place bubble. I was thinking it was going to be sort of over towards the mid-hundreds, but the average is generally very, very flat up and down the tables here. I was just taking a look at what would happen if we added IDA and
Ada bola nggak ada
STG
kan?
to
Bola
the
hari
top
Rabu lagi.
of the tables, and of course adding them to the smash boundary. If they're able to surpass it in this match,
Ada nggak ya?
that would add another... they've won so far out of the games that we played in the finals 4 matches as we head into
Euro
this
cewek
game.
nggak nonton.
That would add another 4 chicken dinners that they've been able to earn. They've had 2 chicken
Ada
dinners
jam 6 tuh,
each.
USA
So out of
lawan
the 60
Meksiko.
matches that we will have played
Gold
at the
Cup.
end of this
Si
match,
tahu gua
that will
Gold
be
Cup.
a total of 6 out of the 16 matches that have been won by the teams over that
Nah,
smash
akhirnya mulai,
boundary. So taking that approach, you can start to see we're getting up to nearly a 50% chance, right? It would be 8 out of the 16 matches.
Pemainnya juga nggak tahu siapa aja nih anjing.
To go there.
Nggak ada kan?
In towards ending the tournament, right? So if you're able to add those 2 teams to the smash boundary, you're looking at a much higher probability that we see a chicken dinner end the tournament in match number 5. But as it stands, you
Ayo
run this
DF
match 8
katanya
times,
bisa lo
the
di
tournament's
laptop.
ending in one of them. We'll see if it is going to be this time around. Lipovka over towards the west coast for the plane path, nice and down the middle.
A very easy playing path to start things off as well, which doesn't really hamper any teams. And this is the type of playing path
Hari ini
you'd
reset
like to
season
see
harusnya.
really
Cuman nggak tahu
enable
jam berapa.
a strong performance for both Falcons as
Di
well
DF
as
ini.
Regnum Kaya. This is a great
Paham
playing
dulu,
path to
bos.
go
Aduh.
off, as it directly
enak
drops
banget
them
kan.
off halfway through of
Gua nggak kan.
Chinky as well as Rozok. No problems. Everyone else is in the same type of boat here. So this is really quite nice. Yeah, you
Enak
do
kopi
wonder
malam
if
tadi
there
ya.
will be any challenges.
Malam tadi kita langsung mewah bro sama pagi. Starbucks 2 ronde, damn.
From finishing out these games too early though. With only
Habis itu
2
malamnya
teams
ngelongo nih
going for
anjing.
that.
Potentially be. Are we going to see Papa? No, we're not going to see. I was thinking, do we see Papa or Supermassive just randomly going back to Pachinki, fighting the
Starbucks ya
Falcons?
benernya.
Could be difficulty for Redox here if
Gila,
he drops on the
gila
same
mata.
vehicles as BWNRX
Lapar mata,
on the
anjing.
south side, but it looks like they are diverging.
Kal dia selalu
They
di
will not come into
Starbucks.
contact there.
Starbucks tuh
Regnum
candu,
Kaya
cok.
around Rozhok, pretty chill, but the circle goes out to the east side, towards the hill to the north of Milta, that shelter area, as well as farm.
Pasti venting, nggak pernah
Position. So a Milta
yang
Peninsula
kecil.
finish on the cards.
Towards that eastern edge. Okay, an interesting
Frappuccino,
start to our
boss.
game here. Over towards that side of the map, Regnum Kaya has a decent ability to play in this region. We have seen Silas win large tournaments in the past from an area like this before as well. So this is overall, in my opinion, very nice for both Falcons and Regnum Kaya. It's a straight shot over towards that eastern side. Again, there is a lot of compounds to play around here, a lot of very good positions on the map where you can secure a big win.
Oke, kita lihat Regnum, lumayan banyak PR.
On the bike, but it's not meant to be.
Yeah, can't get up to the
Setuju
top
kurang
there,
7
unfortunately.
poin.
We'll just fall short, but slam into the wall, grab the loot anyway. You're fine, it's fine. S2G making their way down to Quarry and potentially on towards Primorsk, where they normally drop, as BWNRX got to loot up around that ferry pier split, keeping footholds out to the east as well, it seems. Zedwolf will take up that east point for them, and they'll look to rotate towards the circle in the next few minutes, you expect. No early scraps coming on through. No fights breaking out just yet, but could potentially change fairly soon. A lot of teams quite locked in around this sort of central area. Not too far from the Boars here, with Regnum Kyrie and Roshok, with Fireflux just to the south of it towards school and apartments. Boars in this zone.
Orang tadi
Similar
katanya mau
rotational
Discord,
paths could cross into
hilang
one
orangnya nih
another for these
habis
three teams.
pulang dari toko.
Yeah, in the future. They've likely thought this out, though, of how they'd want to approach it, where one goes off towards the north, some heads further down towards the south. For Regnum Kai, I'd quite like to see them move fairly soon, though, at least. Just because you don't want to be sat over towards Rostock, especially when you have one of the closer positions to get into this one. I think Silas already started to move out early in terms of a scout, though, which is great for them.
Oh, di sini nggak petir, guys. Bullseye. Sasaran.
Just getting that info on board. Very, very valuable. Loxy rotating Regnum Kaya on the road now. Hoping to be the road to a chicken dinner.
75.000 SUPPORT donasi ke Anu. Pesan beli-beli SB0.
Oke, karena malam
can potentially win it with a single chicken dinner, indicated
buat
by
pagi.
that target icon
Terima
on the
kasih.
right-hand side of their team logos. If they get a chicken dinner in this match, the tournament
gue
is
lagi niat
over.
main PUBG Mobile kan, sumpah kan.
I think out of most of the PMSLs that I've
Kecuali
seen,
diajak Korel kayak.
this one feels pretty likely to end with a smash ruling.
Saya Orel juga lagi sibuk kerja.
You'd hope so. It's been a while. I think that we have seen a lot of tournaments that we've casted so far that have had smash rulings, and they've never ended on a smash ruling.
Nggak dapet feel-nya gitu loh.
We always
Duh, apalagi ntar update baru tuh kan yang nggak bakal gue main kayak itu. Transformer itu.
As the top team.
Udah kayak Ambatron itu pasti OP di awal anjing. Nipu tai.
Coming through, which is sad. I'd like to see a smash
Mana
ruling.
Korel nggak kelihatan. Tadi tuh dia baru balik.
But we will see how it all pans out here.
Kita mau bersih-bersih,
You're right
beres-beres.
though with how close the groupings are.
Udah gue ajak
More
nonton
likely
tadi.
than not, even on the
Gue udah bilang gue lagi sendiri.
will be a smash ruling that comes through.
Siapa tahu
Just because the amount of teams that will make themselves
ngantuk, maksudnya sampai ngantuk gitu.
hit over
Nggak nongol-nongol nih, belum balas chat.
Big nade from CEO later, but it's not going to isolate
Dia
them.
pulang malam mulu kan,
one
banjir
shot.
lagi di PRS
Karen
pinggang.
losing a player in 5th place.
Gue sih nggak tahu ya keadaan di luar ya.
It could all close
Pasti
down
hujan
on
tadi
this
deras banget
match.
dari kemarin
Ending in
ini.
5th place would be disastrous for Kara.
F1.
Do not want to let this one slip away.
Cuma F1 bukannya udah kelar, tadi gue liat ada podium anjing.
when they're on the chase to get back in towards that position that S2G holds in 4th. They looked good for it as well. They looked
Siapa tuh orang hijau tuh?
towards that top
Jersey
4,
hijau
but there
tuh.
has been some misplays so far. Kieta goes down. That's towards far side from nobody.
Kayak kurang suka dia.
Foot were some of the first towards the center of this circle, playing around shelter.
Tet
Very
tet
open area for the
teret
map to play as well, so quite
tet
dangerous.
teret tet.
I'd go ahead and say.
Certainly is very treacherous area of the map. To try and navigate.
Oh,
Foot
film
taking cover in the
F1.
shelter, popping those 3
Nggak
bodies
bisa,
down the
kan?
stairs, but they have already lost one of their players. We saw that roll up coming on through.
24/7
Looking at the tables right
ya.
now, Blank, that 4th place
Sampai
is
Minggu masih gawe.
accessible to anyone
Soalnya
from 9th and
lagi
up.
baru dirombak
We've got 9th place
restorannya.
BWNRX 87
Dalamannya.
points. 4th place is 106.
Jadi kayak
That means
handle
that they
everything
only
gitu loh.
need 19 points to
Dari
jump up there, assuming
supplier,
that bubble
karyawan,
doesn't move
segala
at all.
macam,
So
bolak-balik.
for S2G to go down instantly, that difference would need to be made up. So
Gue
it
lagi
is a bit of a
belum
moving
ada
target, but
duit
certainly
ngajak jalan.
could be done.
Falcon's pretty
Ajak gue
focused,
ke restonya.
actually.
Mahal Ken.
Didn't start moving until around about a minute ago.
Tempat gue lagi hujan. Gue tadi
In the meantime, Regnum Kaya actually headed over toward the prison, playing the hills over towards that top side.
gue
of
aja belum
there,
jadi
which is
kesana-sana kan
great for the
sama
player.
Pablo
It's not
DKK.
defensible in terms of a compound, but you do have a lot of capability.
Ya kayak yang di Discord itu ngomong sekali makan berapa
And the high ground as well plays into the capability of that position.
Karena pasti premium.
Teams are trying to find their little slice of the circle. Right now, the most important thing that's happened is that knock and flush on
Tapi gue Susi nagih sih. Susi nagih.
That doesn't mean they're out of it just yet. We know that they like to play these central positions. Definitely have a chance still with 3 players alive.
Apalagi yang apa ya kemarin yang dipesenin Pablo deh. Pas ada makan sama Pablo tuh. Enak tuh anjing.
Should be healing up quite nicely.
Bukan nggak ngerti tuh menu-menu sushi apa aja tuh.
Fairly late on the south coast, coming
Pablo yang pesenin tuh. Enak tuh.
With Ida on that side of things, as they will try and overtake them both in position and on the tables.
Falcons here. There's an outpost. Barside trying to get down towards, but they do find end. They will flush him out as well. Just one knock went back their way, but for some reason is up top.
Ah, pesan dulu sate kambing kan. Kambing ya. Emosi kambing.
Shift on the circle blank. It's going to push people down towards farm and Milter. The roadblock to the northwest of Milter and position hills as well, where K1 currently sitting. Everybody descends. It's going to be hell for leather, and we are going to see a few casualties now.
Yeah, a massive dash out towards the edge there.
Basicnya sudah di-ban kah? Gagal lolos.
You can see them just ahead with Silas starting to push on through.
Ini final, bro.
NRX are not far behind though, and we'll see where Kaya ends up, because this is not an easy play to make.
Bisa jadi ini match terakhir kalau Falcon atau Regnum Chicken.
Open area down there as well, including fielded area as well. One of the few places around this side of the map that has fields down towards the south.
Data SARA juga ada. Rata-rata yang tim Turki tim bola. Back Sixtas emang siapa? Rombongan siapa?
BWNRX want these points. They want to try and take down ThunderTalk as well. Farside still have players in action,
harusnya ada deh. Kayaknya nggak lolos deh, bro.
Coming on through though. There's teams from the east, teams from the west. Everybody wants to get involved here as ThunderTalk have committed to this fight.
Nggak ada.
They're going to be locked in by Fenerbahce and by BWNRX.
Iya, nggak lolos final.
The BWNRX stop short. Instead of chasing over towards Regnum, who just sent away, and they realize they don't need eliminations. They can just send off into the distance. There is
Futbolis nih yang lolos, Futbolis, S2G. Tim Turkinya banyak nih.
Better end of the stick, and from Primos S2G swinging around Shark Fin.
Prediksi gue sih masuk 2 ya, bisa masuk 3 nih kalau S2G masuk nih. Yang di bawah doang nggak masuk tuh, si Black. Kenapa di bawah dia? Dewan Boar nih ganteng nih Dewan. Dia itu turun banget anjing.
And they didn't realize that Foot was beyond them potentially, and they do fall down. And the rollout from Fenerbahce finds another player from ThunderTalk, leaving them just as a solo. It looks like BWNRX have disengaged from this fight. They have lost a player, and they don't want to get involved any further.
It's not worth it for them. They need those 3 players. They need to get further into this one. As we keep saying, the game could end at any moment. And both Falcons and Regnum Kari are playing this out very slowly. Regnum Kari actually finding quite a central position for themselves to the northwest of Milter. Again, it's that Inco playstyle from way back when, where you just sat towards the center, and then even though teams were fighting for their tournament lives over on the edge, trying to get as many eliminations as possible, Inco just made it in off the back of placement points alone.
We will be keeping an eye on our teams, looking to try and breach that bubble. Kara diminished by a player, and Boar's already on a point. Maybe a chance. It goes up to the
Regnum.
northwest.
Oh, Regnum enak. Masih bisa mainin. Ya, dia cabut.
Both teams in a
Falcon.
They have a slightly stronger position here.
Bisa ketemu ninjing.
Whereas Regnum Kaya,
S2G dari bawah.
A whole swathe of teams
Harus chicken
on the
nih.
eastern side who will be battling out towards them later on. They have a small compound to work
Lebih enak
with.
Falcon sih daripada Regnum harusnya.
That way. Yeah, we're waiting for like stage 4, stage 5 to really see exactly where the circle's going to end up.
Boars on the northeast side with the remnants of Foot and ThunderTalk beneath them. They'd like to pick up those points because they do have to dash for those top spots. They are still in the points earning phase of their tournament.
Coba lu buat paketan PMGC kan.
Try and grab those ones would be very nice.
PMGC kan di Thailand kan.
3 or 4 points.
Lu bikin bisnis berarti
paket
5 hari kan. 4 hari 5 malam kan.
Sees them fairly safe. A nice overarm there towards K1.
Check-outnya Senin sih.
Don't imagine that
Senin, Minggu, Sabtu, Jumat, Kamis. Ya benar. Atau paket seminggu sekalian kan. Gas nggak sih?
Good nade though over the top from Full. Bro having a bit of an uptick of performance today, having more placement points. That breaks the tiebreaker between them and Black Esports, sitting them in 15th.
Si banyak tuh yang kan tergantung berapa duitnya. Biasanya tuh Thailand tuh murah-murah nggak sih kan? Setahu gue perang harganya di situ nggak sih? Soalnya teman gue tuh kayak sering dapat paketan tuh 4 juta, 5 juta, yang 4 harian gitu. 4 malam deh lebih tepatnya. Open trip PMGC kah? Enggak sih, Ken ini dia bisa bikin kayak gitu. Iya karena murah kan. Nah, maksud gue kan berarti gini, apa yang bedain trip di tempat lu dengan di trip di tempat lain? Mungkin tempat tinggalnya, hotelnya, mungkin fasilitas makannya. Saran gue sih, lu mulai cari-cari tahu ini akses kesananya. Gue belum dapat bocoran sih di mana tempatnya. Karena masih lama. Tanggal berapa PMGC? Yang pasti awal itu. Nggak mungkin akhir. Karena juga SEA Games nggak sih? Setahu gua Desember. Yang pasti Desember kan. November tuh full liga segala macem. Awal-awal Desember kayak. Minggu pertama, minggu kedua paling mentok. Jadi mungkin masih di tanggal.
Even if you were on top of the hill, it's hard to take shots down towards those windows, but that is a
prediksi gue ya.
Shift on the circle.
Mana sih, guys?
Towards that western side. Now, what
Juli,
is plan? Because they're
Desember,
flying off over towards the west.
Jumat Sabtu Minggu, Jumat Sabtu Minggu ya 5, 6, 7 atau 12, 13, 14. Tanggal seginian pasti kan. Fix.
Unsurprisingly, one goes down the process. They will find a little.
SARA RC, ya dia lawan. Dia lawan ke S2G season ini.
I mean, this is really quite a central position right now.
Siang Paragon kayak di situ mungkin.
In too short of a time.
Nah, yang bedain apa kan? Berarti lu harus cari hotel yang deket situ, udah pasti. Jadi orang kayak tinggal jalan kaki doang.
This is about getting central for Regnum Kaya. S2G looking to roll up into this fight against ADATA. This is a really important fight on the south side blank. Two teams looking to chase for that boundary, and ADATA, who were only 4 points short of it.
Kalau bisa hotel player enak banget itu. Loan di Loan ya, bukan Beot. Dia masih bagian dari RC. Loan kemarin tawarin Voin nggak masuk angkanya, gede banget. Voin juga melawan SARA kemarin, mahal banget tapi. Lagi hack season juga tanggal segitu. Iya sih, akhir tahun sih. Tapi kan belum deket-deket akhir tahun banget sih.
K1 all the way down, almost every team has earned a
karena
point here.
Menurut gue tuh sasarannya gini kan.
They do manage to pick up all those points, but there is so
gue tahu kerjasamanya sama siapa kan. Sanskuit kan pasti bisa tuh mengumpulkan orang-orang yang minat pergi. Ya nggak sih? Gimana komsnya itu? Bahasa Inggris lah.
Taking out TTQ, they're in 11th, taking on 12th. But the more teams that are struck out upon towards the bottom
side
of the tables, the less competition.
Gue nih semi-semi Cina kan, ingat gue Cireng kan, Cina Ireng. Main jalan nih bisnis gue nih, otak gue nih.
I mean, you're right, exactly that. Falcons, Regnum Kaya, happy to see this happen. AIDA, S2G, Kara, Boars, these teams who are chasing for that smash point boundary and for 4th place.
Harusnya tanggal minggu awal itu, 5, 6, 7 atau 12, 13, 14 dah tanggal segitu pasti.
They definitely want to keep
nggak mungkin sampai 20-an
as possible
karena Natal.
To try and ladder up as far as they can. Kara on the eastern side, remember they lost the player early, but Now IDA also losing players may make their lives a little bit easier. Northern side Falcons trying to fend off against BWNRX now.
Terus kejar ini sih, bikin maxnya batchnya berapa? 20 orang maksimal atau 15? 20 menurut gua masih pasti kekejar kan? Ada aja pasti orang nyangkut.
And Caprice might be second to fall off the back of that.
Bouncer on the nade doesn't quite get the full healing off there. As Emre now
Final.
wants to put another one in. I think they know where he's playing. Not up on the
PMGC
stairs.
online kah gawenya? Kayaknya enggak dia harusnya. Kalau talent masih dikejar bisa datang ke sana deh.
To hop out and they'll go for it behind it, but Darkin goes down. And remember, it's only one player now. It's just Emre. He's pushing up the stairs, and Caprice may look for the res here as he steps up towards the higher floor. We'll try and hop away from it.
Siapa tahu dari nanti lu ngebuka gitu kan, worth it, berhasil. Nah, trip lu bisa nyambung ke PUBG yang lain kan. PMSL-an, PMGO, PMGC. Jadi ibaratnya setiap ada event PUBG di mana, nah trip lu bisa dilibatkan. Untungnya pasti tipis sih. Cuman lihat longevity-nya sih kata gue. Untungnya tipis banget pasti. Karena lu pasti perang harga di situ. Sama kayak project lah. Harga siapa yang lebih masuk.
A lot of the next pushes will have to be done on foot or on a very limited amount of cars still on their side.
Boars wanting to get back up into fourth place. With IDA going down, they can get 10 points and try and challenge it. Redox is good for the first, but the second is too tall an order, and he is a little bit isolated here. Ralph trying to move in, but Redox should be done for here.
Nah, coba lu coret-coret pikirin. Mumpung ini belum PMGC, masih ada satu season lagi lu bisa mikir tuh.
Redox now as they go for these reses. Kara keeping 3 players alive, but Falcons whittle down to 3 in turn. More nades being layered on in. He's got 2 more to play
terakhir
with,
ini
but
siapa Mail?
down as the Boars descend on the western flank.
Sekaligus tiket terakhir menuju PMWC, 4 tiket lagi. Ya Falcon sisa 2. Diincer ya. REG kayak ini chicken. Wih, kena 2. Oke, wih rata. Tapi sama orang. Itu tim luar, tim kayak Alpha 7 gitu jual Mercedes. Jual lah. Ini ngomongin apa nih? Mereka jual, cuman kan agak ribet kalau lu beli shipping pengirimannya.
They may have had their run cut short, but we'll have to wait and see. The Falcons on the north side have 1 player to deal with. Navallo, nade over the top. Doesn't quite get the full damage, but he does a whole heck of a lot. Zedwolf has the challenge. He knows where he is, but Navallo can't step up to it. He's doing more and more. Zedwolf cannot be stopped. He's up to 6 elims now.
Gini. Kalau lu niat beli, gue nggak tahu ya. Tapi nggak semua tim buka boot di PMWC sih. Nggak tahu kalau tim yang lain dia lolos. Kalau lebih dari 1 divisi biasanya buka. Nitip aja sama Sanskuy, sama caster yang nanti pergi lah. Kalau pergi ke Riyadh. L2G. Nitip ke mereka aja. Just tip. Ya tambahin dikit lah.
Maybe dashed, but they wouldn't be too sad to see a Regnum Kaya chicken dinner either blank. It would lock them in with a qualification spot.
Iya. Kan mereka kadang bikin story kalau lagi di sana. Open just.
I think if you're Falcons,
cek aja story mereka.
You will take that. The circle.
Kamu dari mana emang, Mandai? Kalimantan kah? Apa di mana? Nanti dikirim kan dari tempatnya mereka dari Jakarta gitu. Ya lebihin ongkir sama lebihin ongkos antri lah bahasanya.
S2G 2 players down up against 4 now as they come out. Icy has to hit a massive grenade. In comes the sticky bomb and it is a 1v4. How likely he is able to hold on for this is very
100.000 paling lah lebihin
Depends how well he can
untuk
send these
ongkir.
nades in.
Untuk uang ribet lah bahasanya. Jersey-nya murah, mahal, Alpha 7 murah pasti. Yang lumayan mahal tuh kayak tim-tim gede tuh, kayak Liquid segala macem tuh. Lumayan tuh, sejutaan tuh. Mahal ONGREX-nya, iya tau, gue pernah buka online shop. Kecamatan apa kabupaten kamu? Ya S2G hilang. Ah, karena sisa satu tapi. Wah, bisa nih S2G tetap bisa kayak PMWC. Oh, kabupaten.
That's a wild shot coming through as well
Ayo
from Black
chickenin
Esports.
sumpah.
Very
Udahan ini.
done, but the double nade on
Main
that.
dev.
Goodness me. 108 points. Kara looking to chase just off placement points alone, but they're out in the open, looking fairly fearful over towards the center side of the road. Regnum Kaya has to make a decision soon on how they want to play this one out.
Tapi ingat, kalau jajan satu tuh kayak kurang.
Finish off Z Wolf finally. Wolf is put down on the north side.
Kalau mau murah lu pakai pos, Mandai. Cuman kasihan yang ngirim, ribet pasti. Lah bener, kan sekilo hitungannya. Masa lu cuma beli jersey bisa dapat 2 kan at least. Merchandise yang lain. Kan gua belanja online kayak begitu sistemnya. Cuman bayar 1 kayak kurang, sekilonya masih bisa muat banyak kan. Nabung dong. Mumpung ada waktu. 19 hari. Tanggal 25 mulai kan. Nah, nanti kita lihat siapa caster yang pergi ke Riyadh.
Right off the doorstep into the building. And that gives a bit of a position to play, and Regnum Karya's got free range on the eastern side. Ralph could put them down. That is the issue. He could be a real thorn in the side for Regnum Karya.
Siapa tahu mereka ada jersey yang ini. Khusus PMWC gitu. Kalau gue tim PMWC yang ngeser ya Vitality gue. Terus kalau bisa minta data tangannya APEX gitu kan, anjing. Kalau nggak APEX, Zoe. Pasti ada sih Mandai, cuman mungkin dari tim lain. Topi kayaknya setahu gue Alpha 7 ada merch topi deh.
Basically, the hope here for Regnum Karya is that Black Esports takes a big fight with Fireflux and that they can capitalize off the back of it. PROSESOR similarly have to move in and do something.
Kenapa? Karena belum tentu orang lain bisa beli di lain waktu lagi. Nah, momennya itu PMWC kalau menitip.
Especially with Fireflux now knowing their position.
PMGC itu jarang kayaknya open boot, kecuali tim lokal kayak.
Kara looking less and less likely to be able to get past that smash point boundary as well. So we may be going into the next match with again the same set of
Regnum
teams.
Kah? Semoga Regnum nih.
Smash boundary. A really low score game for ADA for S2G.
Ini si Kara cuma butuh 7 poin nih buat nyalip S2G nih. S2G banyak doa sih.
Regnum Karya making the move.
Kecuali Regnumnya mati, nah diperpanjang gamenya. Anjing.
Spray downs coming through. Black Esports have complete open season over towards that angle. How are they going to make this one work? This is so devastating.
Yeah, realistically, there's nowhere, honestly, to play for them. Vehicles aren't looking great on their side. They just have to create a smoke train forward.
India rame banget dari kemarin. Tadi berapa mentok? Kemarin 200 kah? Ya Regnum hilang 2, hilang 3. Ya ronde tambahan ngentot. Udah nggak sih? Ya nambah anjing.
As Kara goes down first, a big nade bursts as well.
Nggak mungkin kan? Tuh Falcon, baru gue bilang nggak mungkin kan Chicken sendiri tuh.
Matcaps finds Ralph, and now there will definitely not be any kind of smash ruling here, unfortunately, for both these teams. We'll see who's able to get over the top of it, but I don't think anyone was able to make that happen on this map, if I'm not mistaken.
Malah nambah billing. Yeah.
Doesn't seem to be the case. Papara Supermassive probably the closest. Fireflux
Tim
as well,
bawah lagi yang perang nih, Black
have a
nih.
big game here and jump back up into contention. I mean, they got 6 elims on side already. So could potentially
FF enak
be
banget
onto
dah
one, but
dapat
they started on
genteng.
87 blank. They started on 87 points, getting up into the top 4. I think S2G are on around 107, 108. So they'd need the rest of these elims pretty much and the chicken dinner. But they could be in the top 4 if they get a big game now.
Ji, rapat ya besok kan ya, meeting internal lu ya. Lu bahas tuh plan lu tuh. Ji. Sumpah kalau itu berhasil kan ya, strategi itu berhasil kan, pasti lu bakal kepake terus sama PUBG sih kan. Trip lu.
Unfortunate for Regnum Kaya, the circle consistently moved away from them. There might have been a chance if it moved off towards that eastern side, but it encompassing these buildings for so long just really causes problems. Fireflux
Di
just
GLP
have an
7 nggak ada
awesome
keranjang
position
kuning.
to play around with here.
Kayaknya nggak semua tim ngerti begitu, Mandai.
I mean, it was almost like it's a fortress.
Di websitenya biasanya kalau tim-tim luar itu via website dia.
You see those walls, the
Coba buka websitenya. Coba abis ini gue bukain ya.
Of the downhill slope towards the
Ini Falcon aja, Falcon dari Arab pengirimannya.
There was nothing really to be done there. It was impossible. They could not make it happen. Black Esports yet to move.
Ya, tim barat itu biasanya dari situ. Cuman kalau lu belanja luar negeri nih, mohon maaf juga nih kalau untuk orang-orang daerah ya, at least sebulan lebih lah. Jakarta aja kadang sebulan, Cok, nyampe.
Zone 9 now.
Lebih.
Still trying to thread that needle.
Tergantung DHL atau VORTEX-nya.
Little windowsill over on that building with a nade or a Molotov, and now Black Esports need to move. Like you say, as the Papara Supermassive, and I think they'll be moving out directly to the sidelines from Fireflux.
Iya, makanya.
Ooh, Scarface goes down. Zeptimus nails that shot. Shimmy out to the side. But the res is there. Ketch was on the rooftop as well, which allowed them to go for that peek, but it's go time. Nades over the top, and Black Esports are looking to put the pressure onto both of these two teams, stopping them from getting across. Aussie leads the charge. They've been on the swivel today, and that is Kamikaze going down, being picked up by Black Esports as well, limits Fireflux's point scoring capabilities. Nades over the top, and still the danger is abound. And Aussie goes low, but doesn't go down. Ketch is next to fall.
Mungkin lagi nggak produksi
the
kali.
angle. Septimus does finally fall, but Lux is up into the wall. Aussie is next to go down, and maybe they've gone one step too far. Maybe they won't be able to find it. But Lux with the DBS looks for the flush, can't connect. The crawl is good. Solus out wide, needs to hold his nerve, gets back inside the door. Matcap on high, Ketch calling out the position as Lux breaks wide, but can't find the angle. The door is shut in his face, and time is ticking away.
2v2.
No meds at all, and Nate comes
2v1.
out and will finish off Lux here. It's
all
down
jauh.
Cedric, who's hoping that this pushes them out of the building, but the Nate goes long, does a lot of damage, and he'll be finished off by Matcap. But what a messy finish there from Fireflux.
But they get it done, and with that game blank, I think they may be in to the top 4 once more. We need to see a resurgence from them. We saw it, capability, in the first day of these finals, right? It came to match 4, and they came alive. Are they going to be able to repeat that here in the final day and jump back into the pedestal?
I don't think so, personally. I honestly, for the most of the wins that we've seen Fireflux get, it has just been very, very lucky, in my opinion, in terms of positioning. I think overall it's Miramar. They had a high ground approach there. They had a compound to play with. The circle centered up on them. Here again, the circle centers up on them. I think if you look back and look at most of those wins, it's a lot of circle look involved there. And even so, it doesn't fill me with confidence when you see Fireflux there almost lose that fight, which they were playing from a pretty unlosable location. So yeah, it'd be cool to see them be up towards that top 4, but after that, it doesn't fill me with confidence.
85,9.
I mean, if everybody in the top 4 goes down, if the teams can't compete and there's a smash win in the next match,
Oh,
because we
500-an.
still have 2 teams who can win it, Fireflux could be in with a qualification spot. At the very least, they are in there for a chance, right? And it will be pretty galling if S2G fall out, if Boars maybe don't make
Murah
it,
nggak
if
sih?
Kara fall out as well,
Barat
get pushed to the
sekitaran
side,
segitu.
IDA as well at risk. There are a lot of teams that could get shunted aside. I feel like at this point, though, for the Falcons, for Regnum Kaya, they are going to start to feel a little bit safer in qualifying, right? It would be very, very strange to see them drop out at this point with 2 matches remaining. The leaps that would need to be made would be pretty spectacular. But, I mean, with the Smash rules, everything could change at the drop of a hat.
Mana belinya
Yeah, it's not 2 or 3 teams that just keep clawing their way up the leaderboard, in which case Regnum Kaya and Falcons have to keep pushing away and digging deep. It's just separate teams, just different teams each time continue to flip-flop on that 4th and 3rd place on the leaderboard. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But, again, for Regnum Kaya, they came close there, and I respected the playstyle they went
Udah
for.
pokoknya anti ribet tuh
Again, I
nitip
feel
caster
like
udah.
if they
Siapa tadi?
hadn't
Pandai.
had to stop off
Kamu
over
nitip
that Wizard
caster
Tower
aja ya.
early, and their vehicles
Sama
were
shipping jadi
on their
sejuta.
last legs with just so many wheels popped in that scenario. It could have been a lot better push. They might have even tried over towards POWERSUPPLY's position. But it's difficult.
Oh, lagi nggak terima pengiriman berarti dia.
Of the map, and you confirm it towards those 2 compounds.
Bukares kontrak 5 tahun. Jadinya kemana dia? Perpanjang kontrak.
Off the back of that. So yeah, it's a tough one for Regnum Kaya. I appreciate the play though, and it looked good. It looked good up until a point.
I mean, they made the right calls, I think, at every turn, right? Like you said, the circle shifts went south and south, and they kind of had a tough time getting in and amongst the teams who were already there by virtue of having approached
Arsenal, kan?
It was definitely
I
the
don't
Western
think there was a
shift.
mistake from Regnum Kaya.
Yeah, it was the Western shift that really hurt
Arsenal?
them. I think
At the
they
end,
made...
yeah.
Well, not even at the end. It was
Jadinya
just
berapa
like
duitnya?
they headed over towards their initial spot, right? And then it was, I think, 3 or 4 Western shifts on the circle from there. Where really stage 5 is where you kind of understanding where the circle's going to end, and then it's a case of we put ourselves in there. Now, how do we play that? It shifted west off of their compound next to the hilltops. It shifted west off of their wizard tower, and then it shifted west off again when they were playing behind.
When
the
Ryu
box. So,
jago.
yeah, I don't think they play it badly.
Bisa.
I think they got unlucky.
Let's take a look at these final moments with Fireflux having a little bit of a shaky engagement, but a couple more nades and finding Cedric out in the field makes it all the easier. Matcap with a nade over the top, pushes him out sideways, and the spray down to convert. MVP does go to Matcap with 9 elims,
King
982 damage.
RRQ.
He's putting an unbelievable amount of work in for the team. He's very much the Z Wolf cut right now of Fireflux, I would say, where there is a lot of work being put in by a singular player. And it's not to say the other players are bad on the team, but they're just not stepping up to the plate right now. Matcap is certainly that player for Fireflux, where he is honestly one of the big proponents of which keeping that team together a lot of
Nambah
times,
ronde udahan nggak
in
sih?
those final moments. I mean, it looks so terrible from that high ground on the initial push. It's like, how are you dying there? But Matcap does at least tie the bow off on that chicken dinner
Arsenal
right
apa
at the end.
rumor?
Most damage goes
Intinya
up to
Arsenal harus
Seville,
nyiapin
no
duit
surprise
90
there.
juta.
Unbelievable
Bang, lu nggak
player.
majuin
I
coach
think
RRQ kah biar nggak
no
pakai
matter what
amat?
happens, his
Kenapa gua
reputation is
anjing
absolutely
bagusan
intact
nogat
after
dong
this
daripada gua.
tournament.
Gue ya nggak
For
jadi
sure,
coach
he
RRQ
is
ya lu hujat
absolutely
anjing
a
ntar.
shining light in the roster for
Bagus
BWNRX.
cok, nogat,
They
papel
have
itu bagus. Cuman
a
mungkin
massive amount to thank
Apa
him
yang salah-
for, I'm sure.
apa yang salah dari
Fireflux,
RRQ ya?
the majority of the work actually being done by Matcap, as you said, doing a lot there. But credit to Scarface,
Eksekusinya.
682 damage, 4 knockouts,
Tahu dah
no
apa yang
elims.
salah dalamannya.
Is, an unsung hero, if ever I did see.
Yeah, Scarface. I mean,
Gimana
on
nggak
the-
hujat mainnya
on the off
begitu?
angles,
Iya,
on
kagak
the
salah.
long-range shots, he is really the player you want on side, and so he was keeping a lot of teams at bay by doing that. But at the end, though, he did slip up a little bit from that high ground, got to admit. But still, Fireflux are able to finish out their game strong, and we'll see where that puts them on the totals.
Certainly will. As we take a look at the highlights, we'll be going over to the tables next. On that game,
Sehat,
Fireflux
siap,
able
bagus.
to
Selamat istirahat.
earn
Selamat hari
a whole
Senin.
load of points towards the end there. It was, I believe, what was it, 11? So they got 21 on the game, something like that, which is going to put them very, very close to competing with teams.
Padahal nih Kindo mau ramein Fabi tapi tonton gitu gimana ya? Iya sih.
And as we said earlier in the game, there was a big point vacuum down towards the lower end of the tables, and that just increases this volatility that we're seeing around this fourth place bubble. We're seeing so many teams just on the doorstep, and big games happen more frequently towards the top of the tables, which means that single teams can catapult up or drop
Tapi mereka
down
pasti ada alasan kenapa kemarin nggak mau red face.
the teams around them are doing. It was really, really tricky stuff. We saw that little highlight there from Zedwolf showing you just why.
Udah di trial, cuman ya balik lagi namanya ngetim tuh bukan cuman urusan in game doang. Out game-nya juga ada pasti pengaruhnya. Mungkin ngerasa nggak cocok, bisa jadi kita nggak tahu.
Yeah, Ralph basically just had to sit in the smoke and start spraying through. He didn't want to face him man to man in the end, and fair enough to him. I don't think I want to face that guy either. Regnum Kaya, they try for an angle behind Fireflux. It makes sense. It's something to go for, but you know, it was a very difficult push. And when you've got 3 separate teams all waiting for you to make that maneuver, yeah, you're 100% going down. See, Madcap actually did all of the work, in fact, towards those final moments, and they're able to get themselves 21 points. So, like you say, that certainly does work in their favor. Kara coming out with 8 points on that game, as did NRX, despite everything going so poorly. So 7 elims that really counts. Falcons with the 6, and Regnum Kari, despite getting quite far into the game, only come away with that one with 3.
I mean, the big names here are IDA and S2G, right? With 1 point for IDA, with 2 points for S2G. They didn't cross that smash point boundary, and now with Kara being so close by on the tables, getting 8 points. They may have jumped up far enough. We'll have to wait and see. As well as the chicken dinner for Fireflux. There are now 4 teams vying for 2 spots on these overall tables, and it is not safe towards the top either. The Falcons still in first place with 120 points, but Fireflux are indeed winning that tiebreaker to get the fourth place spot.
With 3 chicken dinners. But they would have won it either way with the 49 placement points that they currently have. Pretty wild. They're coming through from Fireflux. Luckily, S2G's not too far behind, but Kara is breathing down their necks with 107. And look at that. Paparazzi Supermassive managed to make it onto the first page in 8th place. But yeah, for Regnum Kaya as well as Falcons, I'm pretty sure they're feeling quite secure in their positioning. They'll probably
kalau aja rame mendadak pas hierarki jago.
But they are the only
Semoga ya.
teams at the moment still.
Intinya tuh kalau season terakhir ini Supra yang penting masuk PMGC.
From 11th downwards, counting out fully. K1 completely outside chance that they could make it. BWNRX do have a realistic possibility to jump up to around 110 points, right? If they're able to get a 15-point game. Not out of the question from what we've seen from them over the course of this tournament. Would be fairly unlikely, though. They are at the bottom of the barrel to try and scrape their way through. But the fact that we're looking at the second page with 2 matches left in terms of possibilities for qualifying for fourth place is absolutely crazy. It is so closely fought, and as safe as Falcons and Regnum Kaya may feel, it's not locked in at this stage. It is absolutely up for grabs. They too could fall out as well.
Yeah, it still feels pretty secure for them, but there is that outside chance that they fall out from that top side of the lobby. Still 2 games to go, though, and for Regnum Kaya, they're looking to finish things out strong, as are the Falcons. Regnum Kaya, I think, in the past, haven't had too much trouble getting those chicken dinners, but for Falcons, very different story where finishing out games is where they really do struggle. Those final moments of matches, I think that they're a consistent team, they're a good team, but yeah, closing things down, closing the show, they're not good at that. They're not good at that whatsoever. So for Smash ruling, that does feel like a far and away prize.
Lama lagi kan nanti nih kalau ke stats lagi nih.
May well be, but if you can keep earning the points, you can get up to second place, right?
Coaching staffnya poke, nggak bisa juga sih, nggak bisa satu arah sih. Gue nggak ngebelain Papel sama Nogat ya. Cuman kita juga nggak ngerti kan, mungkin ada something wrong yang nggak sampai gitu, mungkin skenario mainnya harusnya begini, tiba-tiba pas di dalam in-game-nya eksekusinya beda. Mungkin kita nggak bisa pukul rata gitu maksudnya.
Yeah, they've been eking it out, but slowly. It's like a little amount of work been done for the team, but yeah, not quite enough just yet. So many more squads on the table who have been really trying to push up towards the top side of the lobby. It
Malam
is
bala.
unfortunate. It's definitely unfortunate for some of our squads that have done so well through the league stage and the knockout stage, and now they are struggling to make it happen. But it also shows the caliber of teams we have inside this lobby, where you can't really count too many teams out. Yes, there are teams down towards the bottom, but even those teams haven't done too badly. I mean, we're looking at 60 to 70 points being down towards the bottom of our table. That's only 40 points off from the top, which is wild to me. It's very, very wild to me. I think those are the types of things you look at and you're like, wow, this really is like a great showing from PMSL.
Tapi jujur Mas, aku
Yeah,
viewer
it's a
lu
very,
lama,
very
tapi lu
balanced
selalu
lobby, and
beleh
I think
nogat.
that it is a little bit in part to the top
Enggak,
of the
nggak
table dropping
belain.
the ball, but you're right.
Kan
It is the
pernah.
bottom of the tables picking up the
Kalau emang
slack
lagi
as well,
dongo
which is
ya
a credit to
berarti
them.
ada something
They're
wrong
not
gitu.
willing to go down without a fight.
Karena juga
Even, you know,
gue nggak
even
bisa
Brown,
ngomong yang
who
kayak
were sort of
oh inti
doing
masalahnya
pretty
begini
shakily at the
begini.
start today have had
Nggak
their
bisa
moments
juga.
so far
Karena
in
dapur
these
orang juga
engagements. They're now out
detailingnya
of
gimana
Erangel as well, and we're
nggak tahu
going to be heading
intinya
over to
gitu.
Miramar, which could further shake things up. And I'll be very
Karena nggak ada
interested to
coach
see how
yang
this one unfolds, because
nggak
going into Miramar again, we
apa
only
ya bahasanya
have
nggak ada coach
two
yang
of
ngasih
our
arahan
teams
yang
in that smash bracket who could
buat
make it work for
menyesatkan lah
Falcons
gitu.
and Regnum Kaya, but there are so many more teams just around the
Kali.
corner. As we take a look at head-to-head from today's games, or this may be actually
Bingung gue
from
jawabnya.
more than today's games, because looking at that survival time, feels like
Tapi
it's from the
muncul pas
finals
ada
here.
RRQ aja
From
tai lu
Super
Supra.
Massive, we've got Azel and Scarface from Fireflux.
Itu kenapa lu kan ngelihat
Yeah,
nih
again,
perbedaan
for
gua nih.
Azel,
Season
he was
pertama
doing
kemarin
fairly good
Spring gua
yesterday as
ngunggulin
well, and
RRQ
Scarface makes sense to show him
top
off
3
here
nih.
with a very, very even
Nah, season kemarin
scoreline
gue nggak
at
pick,
the
gue bilang
moment
kan
for both these
balik
players.
lagi bukan
But
karena
yeah, I would say
isinya
that
si
Scarface is a pretty
Hans for You
integral
sama
member
Asa yang
of the
join, cuman
team so
gue nggak
far.
yakin RRQ top
Here's
3 kan
our
beneran
top
kan?
4 gunslingers with Aaron actually taking the lead on it. Crazy.
Kayak nggak yakin aja gitu, kayak nggak
Very
nyatu aja.
closely fought though. Look at the drop-offs there, very minimal. Normally you see gaps of sort of 500 or so damage, but it's really not going to be the case here. I mean, even Lewis from Kara has stepped
Bingung
up
gimana
there big
ngomongnya.
time. Koa as well for the Falcons, glad that they
Biar si
picked him up. Of
Firefox
course, that newer addition to
lu
the
banyak
roster.
yang
They're
ngincer
very
lu ya,
happy about
gue
that
lihat-lihat
one.
ya.
And he's a bad boy, making a big name for himself in this tournament. Second place on the gunslinger tables, even with K1 playing on a
Ini mau yang
middle position.
mana? Sisa berapa match belum tahu. Ini tapi udah
Yeah,
match
again
point.
for K1 struggling to make it happen, but
Padahal
overall
Universe
I
udah
think
post. Iya, gue juga ngomong sama Universe.
well.
Kan gue
They've done well.
ngobrol-ngobrol
I think
juga
that
sama
they had a very
Universe.
much,
Gue
downturn
season ini
in
kayak nggak
performance
ngepick
over in
RRQ,
those
gue bilang.
knockout stages,
Gak yakin gue
but,
isinya.
as you look forward
Nggak kelihatan sama kayak
towards
BTR
the finals,
season
it's
ini.
crazy to me that they've been able
Mana
to
ada ngambil.
actually get back up towards that top side. I think K1's got a bright future ahead of them.
Walaupun ujung-ujungnya tetap gue
Continue
predik
playing
top
together.
3.
A
Karena
lot of
catatannya
names
si
that
Ryan katanya
you
camat, ternyata
recognize
mainnya ya
from,
udahlah.
teams long
Ente.
past, but yeah, it's good to see him here. Very, very good to see him here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gerakan tambahan
Something that
ternyata.
we will be looking for in the
Sudah.
future. The resurgence there. For K1, I think their run may be done here in the
Cuma gue nggak ada
PMSL Europe in terms of
bela-belain
getting a qualification spot. We are going to see teams
papel kayak
start to
Nogat
fall
kayak
by the
enggak sih.
wayside. In the meantime, before we get into our final 2 matches of the day, we're going to take a
Nggak ada
short
untungnya
break. When
juga
we
di
come
gua
back, it will be
masalahnya.
Miramar and another potential smash victory for Regnum Kaya and Falcons. Don't
Sekelas
go anywhere.
Ancelotti aja kita hujat. Enggak lah, kalau PUBG masih kalah lah RRQ. Mau kecuali mungkin juara kali ya Supra. Kalau juara mungkin tuh keluar semua tuh. Orang-orang yang menunggu waktu itu tiba gitu buat duk kita juara kayak gitu. Tempat makan pada tutup guys. Dikit banget. Mending nunggu postingan ente. Tapi kalau season kemarin tuh apa ya, lebih ke arah unlucky, bener-bener unlucky. Kayak kata Pablo, lu udah kelar chicken nih, udah kelar perang nih, tiba-tiba datang tim lain segala macem. Ya gimana? Situasionalnya begitu. Terlalu banyak momen yang kayak begitu. Ini kesannya kayak tolol aja gitu jadi. Formatnya masih sama kayak saya nih, Eropa. Iya, formatnya smash roll plus 10 kayak biasa.
Hello and welcome back to potentially the last match of the tournament here at the PMSL Europe Finals. Of course, we have two of our teams in that smash zone. Falcons, Regnum Kaya, have an opportunity.
Tapi kata Pak Ape kemarin mau bikin tim PUBG. Mas Eo ngapain bikin tim PUBG satu lagi buat apa? Nggak ada gunanya. Kecuali di negara lain. Dan nggak bisa juga kalau sama-sama PMSL.
Everyone else will have to suck it up.
No, they will. I think that overall, when I'm looking at these teams, it's been a case where
nggak bakal mau lagi lah.
some of our squads towards that top side have really struggled to get the ball moving. We expected Regnum Kaya to get into the smash zone after match 1. That did not. That was not the case, and it's looking more and more likely like we're going to play out all 6 matches today, and we are not going to have a smash ruling at all happen. So we'll wait and see how that works out as we're going in towards our next game here over on Miramar. There are so many teams that could win on Miramar.
Nggak bakal mau lagi karena udah nggak bisa kan, kecuali besok ada peraturan ganti gitu.
Right now, only the Falcons as well as Regnum Kaya, if they win here, they will take it all home. However,
harganya jago cuman zaman Athena, lainnya lawak. Sama ini Pilpres dong. Sisanya wadidaw udah.
Yeah, it would be nice, of course, to be able to get there. The more teams that get past that smash boundary in this match, though, it does start to matter a little bit more, especially around that 4th place bubble, right? Because if you're in 6th place and all 6 of you are ahead of that bubble,
I don't think it matters.
I mean, it definitely does, right? Because you could win via smash from 6th place, potentially.
No, not really. I think that it doesn't matter because people are going to get past that smash ruling, and then whoever gets the chicken dinner on match 6 would have been in 1st place anyway.
On the points alone. Okay, yeah, no, that's kind of fair at this point, I think. It'd still be cool
because
though.
it's so close. I think what you're saying is correct, but it would be correct in a different lobby, not this one. Not where it's so close. It's just going to be a case we'll go to match 6, someone's going to win, and be like, oh, they got 20 points, therefore they're in 1st place now. So the smash really, it'd be cool if they have smashed, but did they really smash?
It's sort of like a tap
smash
with a toffee hammer rather than a full smash with the sledgehammer.
Semi-smashed. Semi-smashed at the end of the day.
Just like good baked potatoes. There you go.
No.
Semi-smashed. There you go. You got to duff them up a bit. You get the really crispy texture on the outside. It's good.
It's good. It's good. We won't. I like my. Oh, you said baked potatoes. I thought you said mashed potatoes. Like, no, full mashed.
I did actually mean roast potatoes though, so we both were a little bit wrong on that one. But yeah, there you go.
Tuh lama kan cacicunya guys.
Perfect.
Duff up my roasties.
We're just waiting for match 5 to
Kantuk gua
start.
nih,
In the meantime,
anjing.
we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with you as soon as this game gets underway. See you there.
Nah, setuju nih. Ini pemain lama tuh. Mana suaranya, audionya nggak dimasukin, cok. The fuck? Gila, ini udah overthinking time, bro. Suaranya lo, aduh, productionnya, cok. Kita nggak tahu apa yang terjadi, guys. Bang, suaranya, bang.
All right, we have received word that Miramar is ready to get
Suara
underway.
stage-nya nggak dimasukin production loh.
And let's see if we can get a smash victory here for the Falcons.
Oke, apakah Regnum atau
Let's
Falcon
take to the skies over the desert for the first time today.
yang
as we
langsung
get into our
mengunci?
final 2 matches of the PMSL Europe.
Oh ya, ini total
It's
cuma
the
6 match
last
doang, guys.
real chance at a smash ruling here.
Jadi nggak ada
over
sampai
PMSL
8.
EU.
Jadi cuma
On the
mentok
road to the
6.
Esports World Cup, we're heading over from the western side, getting Falcons out nice and early over towards El Pozo, which is nice for them because over the past few Miramars, it's been very difficult for the Falcons to get over towards El Pozo early, heading down towards Puerto Paraíso. So a lot of this northeast side of the map is cut out here, John.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult to get up towards El Azahar, Torre Hamada. Let's see where the circle takes us as well, because Miramar can get a little bit spicy with these early circles as well. Because it is so big, it can be quite a long way to be able to get to this first circle. Really does force a lot of early rotations from some teams, depending on where it falls. Or might just be slap bang in the middle and keep everyone not necessarily happy, but certainly close enough to have a chance in. Falcons touch ground, and they will be on El Pozo uncontested.
Heading out over towards Ricardo. Nice central start from them. We'll wait for this next circle to come through as well. See where we're going to line things up going forward. Towards El Azahar, so a northeastern shift on the circle. We've had a few of these today where playing path is not very favorable over towards the circle itself. Now, Dragon Car is going to head over towards Fractal to get looted up. They're not thinking about moving too early, but they did get quite a few vehicles on side at least early on. So Ida there, checking out the stage shots, all huddled, ready to push as far as possible.
You can see there the tables on the right-hand side. We have so many teams on the verge of crossing that smash point boundary, right? From 3rd down to 6th, all of them within minimal performance of getting past that smash point boundary. Obviously, 2 of our teams who can already do it. On 107 in 6th place, the points differences are marginal, and Fireflux are only in 4th because of that chicken dinner tiebreaker with S2G.
Yeah, for S2G, this is actually a very important game for them because this could end, right? This could end. It's the last real chance for it to end early. So for S2G, they know they need to put points upon this match. Fireflux needs to go down, and historically Fireflux have done quite well on Miramar, at least in this finals. We'll see if that uptick in performance is consistent with these last 2 matches.
Little tumble in the party bus, easily solved. Barsight trying to move on in as well. Everybody having to do so. Everybody having to move to that northeast side of the circle. The question is, when do you go for those rotations, right? Over the north side, you've got access through La Copraria. No one really taking up position around Crater Field, so teams like Foot, potentially Falcons, and maybe even Ida could try and take that path, swing in past Torre Hamada in towards the north side of this next circle. Upper Supermassive getting on with the ridges on Miramar. We'll be moving in from
keren ya, nobar cuy.
Sending up past La Bandita.
Cuman kemarin kepotong-potong. Welcome, Raka.
Quite a few teams looking to
Bisa jadi game terakhir nih.
over towards the ruins, by the way.
Bisa jadi nambah billing. Wah, setuju kesusul FF ya, sama poinnya ya.
Over towards that way. Yeah, this La Bandita crossing not always fun, not always easy. A lot of teams already far ahead from Falcons, from Regnum Kaya. But S2G starting in Painan, I mean, it's a good spot to play from. Not Painan, San Martin. Goodness me.
It's all blurring into one. Plenty of PUBG Mobile action.
I got Painan and San mixed up.
They do rhyme, so that makes sense.
Paisan. Martin.
Paisan, Martin. Heading on into
Yang bego, mantep.
Sanamar. What are we feeling? I'm not sure. I like Miramar.
Miramar's good. Yeah. I'm a Miramar enjoyer.
Fantastic. We saw BWNRX there moving on a rotate from Bahia de Mar on the south coast. They'll be trying to move through. They have the furthest of any team to get in towards this next circle. Team starting to get towards the middle here. Making their way up towards Al-Azhar and the areas that surround it on the northeast side.
Ruthless jadi patokan
they
gak
were
sih?
playing from not Pioneer, it's San Martin.
It just ruthless bro, it just ruthless.
A little bit
Chill, kalem,
the middle of this circle,
tanpa mendiskreditkan ruthless ya. Ruthless just being ruthless bro.
Contention. Only 1 point behind, but still definitely in contention of S2G and Fireflux. As well as Ida, 110. Context as well, Regnum Kaya over the last 4 matches, they've only been able to earn how many
Gue harus
points?
ikut. Nah, gue bisa kan, seseran.
Pretty Regnum Kaya.
Tapi nggak bisa sih.
Yeah, it's not been great as a day.
Gue pasti nobar. Pasti disuruh nobar sih. Halo
Very
Nox.
much struggled so far. And that's what I was
Kasih
talking about.
proyekan
I
ini
feel
lah
like
gue.
it does weigh on the
Januari
mind.
sampai Maret kalau ada.
Just playing this small ball approach to PUBG Mobile.
Indo deh, paket wisata Indo deh.
In their heads, affect their mentality a bit.
Mau gue.
Oh, we're so close to the smash zone. We just need small point games. And when you're playing for small point games, you make small point plays. And that may have had an impact on them.
Sudah pasti dan sudah jelas gue disuruh nobar kan.
Or instead of playing a little bit more bombastic, That passive playstyle really doesn't benefit them all that much. And the opposite of balls, really.
Rokok pada
You are too bombastic.
Over bombastic.
Absolutely.
They have suffered today, the Boars, on 101 points. They've not really moved too much. Their record has been shoddy over the games on Sandhawk, on Erangel as well. They are still very much in with a chance, though, Blank. I mean, you could see how close they are on the tables. A big game, any game, would see them up past that smash point boundary as well. They're within reach of it. So are BWNRX
sebenarnya
in
tuh lebih ke
9th
arah
place.
destinasinya gitu, kayak misalnya kan
We're going over the
acara
first
dia kelar mau
page
kemana
of teams
gitu, atau
to see
kalau
the
enggak
teams
kayak
that have the
H
potential
plus
to jump up for a qualification slot.
H-1
It is
tuh
so
sebelum
down to the wire
PMGC
here. So
tuh ngajakin mereka jalan-jalan ke tempat wisata apa, kan paketan trip selalu begitu toh.
Takes a bit of a shot and nobody decides it's nothing to do with that. We'll back off from the angle as a nade gets tossed his way. Almost 8 minutes into the match right now, waiting for zone 2.
Karena kadang tuh kalau orang pengen nonton-nonton kayak gitu tuh mikir kalau beli sendiri mahal kan. Jadi kalau ada paketan kayak gitu kan, menurut gue bisa lebih ngejangkau lah.
Whatever distribution of elims and placements, 3 points, however they come, would see them over that smash point boundary. They'll feel a little bit safer as well. They can get up, especially above Regnum Karya potentially.
Yeah, in my opinion, like I said, I don't think the smash point really matters anymore. I think for
lebih kompetitif poinnya mepet-mepet.
I think for other teams, it doesn't matter about getting above the smash point boundary. What matters is getting far into these games and getting a lot of points off them.
Wah, Regnum susah dimakan ini. S2G
impact going into the final games. The teams that are fighting for a smash point, they're going to see themselves very close to one another when it comes to first, second, third, and fourth.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Smash Zone really only counts today for just 2 teams. Just the 2 teams, which is wild.
Look at this circle, though. I mean, this is a hard shift out to the east side. It goes almost to the coast. That massive slope down towards the water as well. A deadly trap for anyone who finds themselves there. Will definitely need to be trying to look to get out of that position. I mean, the Boars managed to do so fairly quickly, and I feel like the Boars are in a pretty solid position. I'm looking at the Falcons and their approach to the north side as well. The Boars now in contest with Thundertalk for a hilltop position that could be really important for this coming circle.
Tulik gets caught and he's going to take some shots, not before. He gets backed off the angle slightly as Nico steps up with a shotgun. Just constantly confusing, confounding. Nico does take a tag and Striker will get out. You're right, the Boars do have a pretty strong spot here. It's a large area though you have to hold. It will invite neighbors.
Rata-rata target udah gawe.
Approach in the first place to this circle, so they're not doing too bad for themselves either.
A lot of this circle is pretty unplayable out to the east side of it. So for Boars, they kind of have that angle a bit covered off. The hill that they were challenging on is a major threat to them. So whoever has control of that will have a bit of dominance over that position. Falcons fighting in from the north side. They've been pushing in for a while. Foot trying to crash in past them. But there's Barsai as well, looking to try and stop them from moving any further forwards. Foot are starting to collapse. Barsai further in towards the circle. And the Falcons just behind them on the queue on the north side.
Falcons do want to get involved on this as well, John. This would be a very, very good place to open up some space on the map. And you're absolutely right. There is a huge chunk of this circle which is unplayable due to it being the mountain range, which is unscalable. But also down towards the southeast side, you've got
jagoin mana? Prediksi gua bener 2 sementara Falcon, Regnum, S2G sama Blacknya di bawah. S2G nih harus lolos nih.
I don't think anyone want to head down there. You do have this situation where I would say around 30% of the circle is unplayable.
It's really rough going. IDA have managed to sneak in on that east road approach.
Dibilangin emang gak bisa jagoin anjing.
Taking shots over towards S2G as well. In 5th place, S2G's run could of course be cut short on this match. And Ida wanting to surpass that boundary. Circle
sama
goes
Action.
back to
Udah
a little bit of
lama.
sanity here, but it keeps the
Top sama
entirety
Action
of
kan
El
sekarang
Azhar
di
in. The hills to the east
APG,
of El Azhar,
Alpha
control
Gaming.
over them, a massive priority. But Ida, in their position blank, have such a good spot.
Yeah, it's a nice place to play. I think for S2G, similarly, also a really good spot on the map to work with. Regnum Kaya wants to peel themselves away from this position. There is a side swipe angle towards the northeast there that you can see. Regnum Kaya right now, I think Boz is playing a little bit of a weird position where they're holding a 2-2 inside of that town. I said it was unscalable. Obviously, you can get a little bit up there. Don't particularly want to be up there till late game, though.
Those eagle perches up there. It's a bit of a risk, and he will have to move off of that angle. Hopefully, he's got a vehicle to drop down. Otherwise, he's done for. But he can also trap Regnum Kaya in there. And for K1, they might want to do that.
It's definitely a spoiler position, right, for K1, I would say. 10th place, 83 points. They could have a ginormous game. Funny to say that about 10th, but it is unlikely.
Imagine if Ida had 3 more points in that last match. Right now, everybody would be quaking in their boots. But they would be able to find a chicken dinner here because I think
Januari sampai Maret dah.
I think Falcons may be the only team that could actually challenge them for it.
Well, it is zone 3, and I
Seminggu
think you
jalan,
have to put that in context.
sebulan jalan 2 kali dah.
We are not at all confirmed on where this circle's going.
Yang Indo aja, yang Indo mau gua.
It's a strong central position, yes, and they can play from it. But this easily could head down towards the south.
Mati dong.
Cause some serious problems for them. Black though will take a knock, but Foot similarly are not in the best of shape at the moment. Taking quite a bit of a battering. Enzo goes down. That's the Zeptimus from across the way. Now Yekta out in the open. A nade over the top, and that should be game over for him.
You've also got Barsai over the ridge line who could potentially poke the noses in, but they've got bigger fish to fry. A knock sent their way. He's still taking shots though, and Lux will fall. Just Zeptimus now for Black Esports, trying his best to get across the open valley here, leaving the rest of his team. They will be sacrificed to try and survive a moment longer. Barsai moving on in to pick up the points here. But again, this is a fight at the bottom of the tables, and none of these points are going to the teams towards the top.
Yeah, we are starting to get silly business, right? It has to be said that there is just an unbelievable amount of fighting, an unbelievable amount of aggressive plays. We went from yesterday having 16 teams and a huge amount of players remaining without ever being in contest of one another until far into the 20 minutes.
Oh, go on then. 3 players rock up and Foot immediately rebuff all 3 of them. Barsai had 4 players. All of a sudden, they're just down to Nihat. There's 1 player left on Black Esports. They are just dismantling one another here.
Yeah, it's just mutually assured destruction, isn't it, really? Fenerbahce have lost 1 player. They look over towards Azel and don't take shots. Curious they wait that long.
Tim-tim luar rata-rata pemain bintang di satu kayak PG, WPG gitu. Kenapa tim Indo nggak ada yang berani beat pemain kayak Rosemary? Bukan nggak berani, nggak dilepas.
Did move. Yet to see where it went to though, sadly.
I think it keeps Ida in. It goes to the
bilang mau jadi apa AE kalau nggak ada Rosemary? Apa yang dijual lagi?
So edge of it on this next zone. We'll start to shut on through. Falcons actually chiming into the fight up on the north side, taking down the remnants of Foot.
RRQ, bahkan RRQ juga kalau Peko ada tawaran, ya RRQ mau jadi apa?
NXZT taking down Black Esports as well. Nihat the last
Kenapa malah James
Falcons
dari Rusia?
slowly
Betul.
moving in. Have actually, because of that fight on the north side, they didn't have to do too much, but there is now no competition for their rotation. Redox with the fadeaway, leaving out Barsai.
Mereka masuknya ke Central South Asia. Central Europe sama South Asia.
The question is, where do they go? Without any competition on the north, they kind of have free range on this approach.
They do. They absolutely do. And I think for Falcons, looking fairly nice here.
Ah, reknya hilang anjing.
Kaya's players are struggling. Kivik will
Silat mati. Hilang 2 ya, nggak niat juara ini. Rekco sisa 1 tuh nggak enak posisinya.
That's actually crazy. That is insane that he's committed to staying up there, right? I mean, it's into stage 4. He should be able to get down and actually might be able to regroup to the rest of his team from here. But you're right, it's absolutely insane that they have locked this team in here. And it's Regnum Kaya of all teams, one of the important teams when it comes to the Smash Zone. Now with just one player trapped out in the blue zone, K1 have ruined their chances of a smash.
It's a frustrating experience. I think K1 play it out very well in their setup down towards the southeast side. It's very frustrating for Regnum Kaya, but that's just how it goes sometimes. Though again, I think both teams could have got themselves out from that location if they just left sooner. K1 hadn't upheld there because now K1's coming in really late to the circle. It's definitely one of the situations where both teams could have benefited, but K1 is so certain on ruining the day of Regnum.
Okay. He wants to try and take that fight behind the tree. Will give the game away, though, and Kvik now knows. Exactly. No, he doesn't. Okay, Loxy. A little bit of retribution maybe found there, but the rest of K1 are just over the ridgeline. They'll roll up to it, and Loxy should be done for. Regnum Kaya all out of gas now. Eliminated. 117 points, but that 1 point could make a big difference, Blank.
Could do. It could be the difference maker between them dropping out, honestly, because there could be a lot of big jump ups here.
Nambah round ini sampai game terakhir nih guys, anjing.
Towards third place off the back of that one. S2G still in a very, very strong spot, but it is the Falcons playing slow and steady over on this eastern side.
And IDA as well, who have that compound, right? That control that they have over towards S2G. Nice to see. They've got that outpost on the far side of the road. A push coming on through, and another team gets eliminated. It's Fenerbahce once more. Fireflux now 2 points away from that smash point. I mean, you said it wasn't super relevant, but it's still nicer to be over than to be under, as they pick up more and more knocks. They're looking to try and cross it here and now.
Yeah, Fireflux not looking too bad. I mean, for Miramar in general, they're a team that does fairly damn well on this kind of a map. Papa Supermassive over the way. Matcap looking to send a nade through. Kamikaze is left behind as a sacrifice to Matcap himself, and cause will find Tron. Will knock him out, and Papa Supermassive is
S2G yang pernah juara PMGC, betul. Cuman isinya udah nggak sama.
Now, as they'll have to go up against the Boars next.
They wanted one more point from that fight, but they won't be allowed it. The Boars able to snaffle all of those away.
Sisa Falcon nih yang bisakah menutup game ini apa sampai game 6 anjing.
Try and crunch on in. It's a difficult approach. BWNRX, you can see them mounting up on the hillside. That is not in this circle. They will have to push further forwards, but they're trying to get some scouting information with a minute and a half or so that they have left on this position. The more info they have, the better they can decide where they want to go. S2G also in that central area. Looking to try and hold this one out as BWNRX break ranks and move forwards.
S2G in a nice spot alongside with IDA. Both of them just been locking gazes with one another that entire time. Sonic will find Tudica inside the building. No one really near him to help, and they will have to send a player across there. They want to pick him back up, and it's looking very unlikely. It's a split I didn't really enjoy in the beginning of the game, and I still don't enjoy it now.
This position on the northwest is really quite tenuous. K1, with 2 players alive, they're still doing the lobby dirty, Blank. Playing complete spoiler to Regnum Kaya, taking down a player from the Boars. As a duo, they still have a little bit more to play. IDA on the northern side. But where are the Falcons, Blank?
See them there just off in the distance on the northern side, playing along the ridge line.
Is it Ralph's upside down? Goer's trying to mount them. Come on.
Yeah.
You can't be doing that.
Not how I would have described it. He's trying to push the vehicle over, sure. Reorientate it.
Fine. Let's go with that.
Yeah, currently Falcons are out in the open, but they're the team closest to trying getting this chicken dinner done. They're the only team that can do it. Finish the game.
Gelap ya. Bang.
Unfortunately, we've
Bang.
gone under the map.
Oh dear. Can't be having that.
Wah, L production bener ini.
Okay, we're back to us. I hope that the game still exists.
Mati lampu kah di sana anjing?
Because that would be
Yeah, me.
absolutely nuts.
What the fuck, bro?
Goodness me. Well, so far the game
Okay.
was pretty cool. I've enjoyed it. I want to know where Falcons currently are on the map, and how they're doing. But when we get back, I think the game is still going though.
I
Is it
hope
still
so.
going?
I'm not sure. It would be crazy. It would be insane if that game, for some reason, was wiped out. Regnum Kai would still be alive. Falcons may be at a better... I mean, that's insane. Okay. Okay, we've had word. We've had word as to what happened there. It's not... The game, I believe, is still going, but the observing machines have lost power, which means that
Dari
we are
YouTube
no
mu kagak
longer
dari
able to see
sana,
what's
Cok.
going on.
Yeah, they've died. They've died a death.
Right. So what happens now? Hopefully, if the game is still valid, which it should be, we hopefully can get back in to see it once we restore power to the observing machines, right? If
Restore
we
power.
can't, imagine we're just waiting here for the tables.
We're in Among Us now.
Oh my
Let's
goodness
restore
me.
power to the observing machines.
Oh,
It does feel like
Is that what that's
almost like a quest that you've given us.
this is crazy. Right. Do we have any cameras on the players? Can we
Or just have a look
can we
at
like
the
over the
screens.
shoulder any of our players right now? Is that possible?
Or some backseat gaming going on. That would be good. I'd enjoy that.
I mean, if it has to happen, it has to happen, right? I'm sure everyone is doing their utmost to get us our feedback. But
It was quite deep into that game though, so it depends how quickly we can get back online with it, really. But I am being told we're going to be back very shortly, very soon. And we'll be back on board with our players. Unfortunately, we won't be able to see exactly what happened, what went on. But we'll
Tau nih ya,
attempt
pas
to
kameranya hidup ya,
piece it all together
Falconnya mati anjing.
live on the job.
So as it cut out, I believe we were around. We were sort of centered around IDA being in a central location, S2G being across the road, the Falcons trying to make their push as well, but plenty of things could go wrong. I believe we got about 5 minutes to wait, but I feel like the map could end in 5 minutes. Oh, no, hang on a minute. We're back now. We've got our feedback live and hopefully stable here. Let's take a look at what's happened so far. It looks like all our important pieces are still in place, but Falcons now closer than ever. They have got a mad dash to make.
Massive there. There's only 2 players in position. S2G still going as well, which is one of the
5
important
flux are over the
things.
smash barrier. That's what's happened.
Yes, well done. Yeah, they're up to 113. With 5 eliminations as well, they're doing fairly well here. Most teams are out on the outer edges of this circle because it's very difficult to play towards the center, and Papa Supermassive currently having a great time because of it. Here's Kara getting lit up by IDA, and Kara will be eliminated. S2G have also lost a player in the process, as Zedwolf will put down 1 and Ron Icy.
Balls are going low, and crucially, Kara going down in 5th place, Blank. You can see that they will not be able to jump up towards 4th on the end of this one if Falcons take the chicken
Tiba-tiba
dinner.
di situ,
With Papa
Cok.
Supermassive going down,
Masa
that
ngeliat-
central void may be left.
Indeed, I'm not entirely sure while we're watching on the stage screen.
Looks
coming
good.
Back. It looked good. We're back on board with things.
A little bit of Turkish overlay there as well. Cheeky.
I like that.
The Falcons have moved down. Blank, they've rotated down to the south side here. They've moved on to a really important position. The position that
they're
Papa
taking up
Supermassive
balls.
left.
Taking up balls as well at the same time. Hamzy G.
Wah,
off the bat
suaranya
against BWNRX.
suaranya jelek nih.
The nade up from Calci. Nade over the
Bad
top.
for SCG.
This is really bad news. They need to be in there, but they can't go any further. 5th place, not able to leapfrog either.
Apa sih operator
And now
anjing?
with 3 teams with 4 players alive, they're all over the smash barrier, but blank, only Falcons can win it on this match.
Only the Falcons. Fireflux on 11 eliminations. Absolutely crazy on this one. Some lovely music in the background as well. We've got
Aduh, apaan
we've got our
sih?
feedback, and that's what matters. Falcons, they've taken a knock on the south side. There are 2 players from different teams in the same vehicle there. What's going on? Someone sort that out. Fireflux and Thundertalk both trying to drive the same vehicle. Nico going wild. What's going on there? Falcons on 3 players. Playing from the south side, though. They have managed to get this res. They have 4 players alive, and Ida are out of the zone. Blank, this could be it.
This could be it right now on this game. S2G may not make it through to EWC
Wah,
off the back of
anjing.
this. And we might lock
S2G
things
nggak-
in with Ida, Regnum,
Wah,
Fireflux, and the Falcons. It's all
Apakah
up to
ada
Ida to
extra
stop them.
time
It doesn't matter
atau
how many
tidak,
points the
atau
Fireflux
selesai nih
get
gamenya
on this
guys ya?
match, but it could be all over, all done and dusted. It is up to the 4 men on the south side. Falcons looking for the chicken dinner. They've got the hillside. They've got the forward position. Ida looking to challenge. You got BWNRX as well with 2 on the western flank. Another team goes down and 1 step closer to a smash victory
turun,
for the
Jing.
Falcons.
Iya,
They've
Cok.
got control
Nggak
here,
smash
flank.
point lagi.
It's looking good. Ida looking to move. Can they make the crossing in towards the rest of the roster? They do not get taken
Wah,
off.
Falcon
Finally,
chicken
Aaron
kayak
goes
ini.
down, and the Falcons desperately peppering them. It's BWNRX, and 3 teams are standing. 2 players from BWNRX.
Ida smash point
on
nih.
all 4, and the Falcons desperately
Mereka
line
mau
them up, but they
beli
just
game
can't
1
connect.
lagi kah nih?
There's one
Atau
goal over
Falcon
towards Aaron,
close the
Renock
game
from Ralph, a good side angle coming
dengan
through
chicken
from
dinner
him,
ya, karena
looking
sudah
for a
smash
little bit
point,
more.
guys.
A nade tossed off into the distance. The Void accepts that one.
Gila, setuju
Also
Cok.
up against BWNRX, but you're right, low ammo, near to nothing here.
Oh, and they find Koa. They need to stack though. They just need to play the central position. They don't need to get involved. They can wait. They can allow BWNRX to take this scrap. Koa should be resable, but in they go. Ida are in. Aaron down once more. The re-knock for the 3rd time. Let's up into the fight.
kena lagi.
Falls next. Falcons are looking to win it all. Win it here on a smash ruling, but a
Knock
second
dua.
knock sent their way. BWNRX from the top of the mountain. They could change it all.
Zone 9, we're starting to cut things in. Falcons have lost 2.
Kelihatan
Nades
tuh
are
Ralph tuh.
flying over the top. They're looking to get their players back on
Knock.
board, but you're right, BWNRX from the backlines
nggak
could
knock.
change it all. They're taking
Malah
shots
idenya
over towards
dikenokin
IDA, Emre's
next Ria nih.
down, as well as Aaron being cut out.
It's all up to Rita. There's plenty of ammo for Koa. They can redistribute that. Hopefully, they've got enough.
Preset
Ralph
lagi
thinks
Falcon.
he's got it with 39 in the mag, 5 on the shotgun. The
Bomnya
Nado
matang.
Rita. 2 players on high. The Falcons are back to 4
Dor.
players. They could cut it
Oke.
all here.
Dua
Ida
tim.
go down. And now in a
4 lawan 2, masa iya kalah?
Falcons
Sisa
can win it
1.
all. Falcons looking to smash over the top. It's just frozen. And the Falcons mount a victorious assault. On
Gelo.
a smash ruling in match number 5.
Close the
Falcons
smash roll, smash point with chicken
It was
dinner.
so close down
Ya
the wire. We
elah.
didn't think it'd be match 5, but so it is. The
Gila loh, banyak
Falcons
kejutan loh dari tadi.
rising
FF
from
naik,
what has been a
Ida
tumultuous
naik,
journey
S7
throughout this
turun,
tournament,
anjing.
but the finish line is crossed and they spread their wings,
Gelo.
heading over towards EWC and bagging themselves the
GG,
35
Cok.
grand.
And with that match, it's S2G eliminated blank. They don't make it. They are down in 5th place. Ida take that glory. They will be seen there as well. But for the Falcons, what a way to close down this tournament. This is a team who has been through the ringer to be the champions of the region coming through this one. They have felt pain, they have felt hardship, and this is a deserving victory for Ralph, for
Bener ya,
Redox, for
Falcon ya.
Novello, for Koa as well.
Regnum aja langsung kesalip loh guys.
Just a brilliant performance from them. So funny to me. It's all day, all all of this tournament, in fact, Falcons have struggled to get a chicken dinner. Those final motes of the matches
ini main
their
NGX,
kryptonite. And when it mattered most, when it counted most, they've not only restored power to our arena, they've restored the power to the Falcons. Right up at the top there in first place. It's an incredible way to win it. Not only getting the smash ruling, but being in first place anyway.
Gila ya, Rauf 2 kali make a play loh guys. Kemarin waktu pindah itu. Terus ini anjing.
It's sad to see SnowX not repping the roster and Koa coming in, but it's undeniable how much impact Koa has had for this team. Added extra firepower, great grenades.
What a game, boss. What a game.
Himself, but in the end, it's the grenades that he sends over the top that seals the deal.
Fantastic stuff. What an exciting
Bahasa
match
gimana
to
tuh
close
Arab
it down
komunikasinya?
on.
Inggris lah.
Coach
Rauf
Peko
bisa
there
Inggris.
as well. Reining in his players, but Redox, I mean, he's on a tear. Beautiful stuff coming through for the roster. Shake it off, man. You deserve it. What a shutdown. That final rotate down to the south, taking down the Papua Supermassive area. They deserve that chicken dinner, and I do think that they might have deserved this first place as well. Goodness me, that is absolutely insane scenes. But there are 4 teams going over to PMWC as well, Blank, not just the Falcons. I think it was Regnum Karya who do make it. They do get one of those 4 spots. We're going to make it with them. Fireflux as well. What a climb back from them today. They did it again. They did it day 1. I didn't have faith in them, but they did it in day 3 as well. And I think the final member was Ida coming on through,
It was.
if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was Ida at the end of the day. And I mean, for Ida, what a wonderful run from them. We've been speaking their praises all the time. You know, even in PUBG Mobile Super League over at EMEL Fall 2024, Aaron was the rising star, and he was awarded that accolade. And again, it's certainly
Nggak tahu tadi tiba-tiba gimana S7 mati, anjing pakai gangguan,
Cok. All the way to the top here, being able to find himself in a position now going towards the EWC alongside Darkin, who he played with over on Zeus. Add in some extras with Rita and Emre, and you have yourself an amazing squad who have pushed and pushed and pushed. At the beginning of that game, it was
cari fotonya Rauf pakai jersey baru, guys.
with them
Nih ya,
all huddling
foto yang gue
together
edit ini, guys.
and going for
Nih,
a
foto yang gue
victory
edit
chant,
ini.
and victory is certainly what they will
Asetnya
be
ini.
celebrating here today, heading over towards that EWC as
Jadinya
well,
begini.
grabbing themselves plenty of cash on board. Fireflux, now don't disappoint me going over to the EWC. That's all I ask. That's all I ask, because, you know, it looked a lot better, and I think that you're very lucky that you've got Matcap on board, but we cannot see the
Lu bayangin ganti kepalanya susah banget, guys. Anjing udah capek banget gue nyari fotonya kan. Gak niat anjing, susah anjing.
Is it maybe time for
Loh, daripada
Fireflux
badannya
SARA?
gue kasih ini, mau nih mas-mas India nih, mau. Mas-mas Arab nih, mau.
Could be.
Let's head to
We're
the
gonna head over
stage to deliver our championship.
Nah, ini nggak
To
masuk
determine
badannya
exactly
ceking,
how
Cok.
things were going to go down now. It's time to start presenting our awards to those who came in as runners-up as well as the champions as well. So first up, we're going to be meeting our 3rd place team. Would you please, I'll let you share that with the audience first in Turkish.
Kenapa dari 3 sih langsung 4 nggak sih?
Hepinize burada olduğunuz için teşekkür ediyoruz. Şimdi ödül törenine geçeceğiz. Öncelikle 3. sıradaki ekibi çağırıyoruz.
IDA Esports.
Ida lolos ya, Ida plot twist nih, Ida nih.
Congratulations, here they come, making their way. GG's, lads, GG's. Good job, good job, good job. Good job. Here we go. If you come here as well and place yourselves there.
Onset gitu,
To
kayak kita
present
kemarin gitu ya.
the winning prize for our 3rd place team, we're going to welcome to the stage the president of the Turkish Esports Federation.
İDA Esports'a
Federation.
çeklerini takdim etmek üzere.
Federation
çeklerini
Turki.
takdim etmek üzere. Türkiye Spor Federasyon Başkanı Sayın Alper Afşin
Federasi apa tadi katanya, Mas? Nggak dengar lagi gue.
sahneye davet ediyorum.
Welcome in, welcome in. Congratulations again. Well done, Ida, in 3rd place here. And I believe we have a prize that'll be coming your way as well here to present. We're waiting the giant, well, that is a giant check. That is a big one.
Maju
but
depan nggak sih? Kurang maju nggak sih, Bang?
We'll have you guys hold this just in front of the trophy for us. That's it. Perfect. Come together. Lovely.
Bir
One
kez
more-
daha alkışlar. 3. sırada
Ida,
tamamlayan
udah kayak nama orang Jin.
İda
Esports.
için.
Congratulations. Well done. Well done. Thank you. You could take that away. Who's going to keep it? We don't know. There you go. That's back there. Thank you so much. Okay. Lovely. Thank you very much. Okay, that was our third place team. It is time to meet the runners-up, our second place team of our competition, Billy.
Şimdi sırada ikinci olan takım var.
Fireflux Esports.
FF ya. Si Regnum langsung ditendang ke 4 anjing. The fuck? 4 apa 5? 4 berarti. Ada Kara juga tadi.
And again, the president of the Turkish Esports Federation will present a award-winning check to you folks. We'll put this in front of the trophy once again, and we'll get you guys to pose for a
Siapa tadi mau
lovely
beli?
snap.
Mandai nih. Jersey yang mana Mandai? Hitam apa putih?
Tesvet Başkanı
Hitam nggak sih
Sayın
Mandai?
Alper Bey
Bagus nih hitam nih.
takdim etti.
Hitam Mandai.
A big round of applause again.
One more
Putih
time,
tapi
yeah. Let's give
coraknya
it up.
bagus tuh.
Fireflux
Bir alkış alalım
Esports.
onlara.
You go to the back here. Thank you very much. Now it is time to welcome to the stage your champions. Let's please welcome the 2025 PMSL EU Spring Final Champions. It's, well, you go first.
Şimdi şampiyonu çağırma zamanı. 2025 PMSL Avrupa Bahar Finali. Şampiyonu
Team Falcons! Come on through here, chaps. The response. Come and spread yourselves out. Congratulations.
Diruin sama
Congratulations.
penggemar
here.
S2G guys.
Okay.
Ya elah dek, banyak
Now
fans
it is
doang
time as
menang
well to
kagak.
celebrate this remarkable glory. Let's present these magnificent jackets that are coming onto the stage in just a second's time, prepared by today's proud event sponsor, Infinix, to our champion players, the exclusive GT Champion
dikasih
set.
jaket.
It's more than just merchandise, it's a badge of honor and a mark of greatness, legacy, and initiation to the GT-verse, a realm reserved for the
Kayak siapa,
true
Mas?
elite.
Enggak kayak siapa-siapa, bukan.
We'll have our four kind of winners come forward to the front here for us.
Şimdi
Here.
zaferi kutlayacağız.
Jadi Kamen Rider kan
Bugünün
nih?
gururlu etkinlik sponsoru Infinix tarafından şampiyon oyuncular için özenle hazırlanan bu muhteşem ceketleri görüyorsunuz şu an
Kebesaran.
üzerinde. GT
Ya
şampiyon
anjing.
ceket seti. Bu sadece bir ceket değil, bir onur nişanı, büyüklüğün, mirasın ve GT-verse'e kabulün simgesi. Yalnızca gerçek elitlere ayrılmış bir evrende yerlerini alıyorlar şu an.
And we're also as well here. The exclusive GT rings are being presented to our
Ada
winners as well. A
cincin,
tribute to
Jing.
the brotherhood that battled through every challenge.
Gelo,
Arkasında da
kayak
Infinix'ten
something dapet cincin guys.
GT AI yüzükleri geldi.
Oh ini dari sponsornya.
Kardeşliğe bir saygı
Dari
duruşu
si
niteliğinde.
Infinix
Let's hold the
GT-nya.
rings together. That's it,
Bir poz
fellas.
alalım.
Come inside there.
Yüzüklerle birlikte
Oh.
pozumuzu da aldık.
Apa itu polos hitam, Cok? Nah, siapa tahu ada
Excellent
kodamnya, dia
work.
cincinnya nggak ada yang tahu,
Now,
Cok.
it is the big moment we've all been waiting for here. And we're going to ask the president to congratulate
Gila, Rauf ya,
the
Rauf.
gentlemen here on their
Rauf,
victory for
again,
us.
once
As
again
we
ya.
present to you the 2025 PMSL EU Spring Champions.
Ih, smart ring mungkin
Şimdi
bisa jadi.
şampiyonların kupalarını kaldırma zamanı
Nah, kalau
geldi.
gue lebih
Bir
milih
kez
kacamata,
daha
Cok.
Tesvet Başkanımız
Kacamata yang
Alper
smart
Özdemir
glasses tuh.
kupayı takdim edecek. Tebriklerini iletiyor şu an.
One more time, would you please give it up for your 2025 PMSL EU Spring Champions, Team Falcons!
Lengkap sudah guys ya. Lengkap sudah slot untuk PMWC 2025 ya. India udah kelar, MENA udah kelar, Eropa udah kelar. Kalau kita tinggal menunggu kick off dari
We'll ask you, do you want to come
PMWC
to the front as well? Come to
2025.
the front with the trophy as well. Team Falcons, come and stand here for us at the front. There we go, come and stand at the front for us. Okay, we'll get one
Sabar,
picture of you
udah
guys
diupdate
with your trophy. Let the team hold the trophy. There it is. There they are. Team Falcons. Congratulations, fellas. your champions.
Oh,
And when you're ready, please make your way to the back of the stage.
Belum. Ntar nunggu update. Silas jadi keempat. Iya, ketendang anjing.
All right, your champions there. You can take the trophy with you as well. Don't forget this. Don't forget this.
Wait.
Team Falcons. hey, you forgot the trophy. You forgot the trophy. There we go. Okay. Okay, on that note, we're not done with yet though. We're not done with yet. We are also to present our MVP as well of our competition. True victory goes beyond numbers. It lives in the passion and drive of a teammate who pushes the whole squad forward this season. Infinix is honoring a standout player in a league of their own with the FMVP award, presenting the one-of-a-kind MVP trophy crafted exclusively for the top-performing player of 2025's PMSL EU Spring.
Siapa ya?
Gerçek zafer sadece sayılarda değil, tüm takımı ileriye taşıyan bir takım arkadaşının tutkusu ve azminde yaşar. Bu sezon Infinix kendi liginde fark yaratan bir oyuncuyu finalleri MVP'si, en değerli oyuncusu ödülüyle onurlandıracak. Karşınızda 2025 PMSL Avrupa Bahar sezonu.
Your MVP from
En
T
değerli
Falcons.
oyuncu.
Huh?
MVP
from Team Falcons.
Team Falcons.
It's
Falcon.
Koa!
Oh, ini kacamata bukan sih? Nah, yang tadi nih. Yang tadi ya, foto yang tadi berarti, guys. Bukan, beda.
Well done, well done. Come this way.
Rata sih. Kalau gue bilang
Kendisinin
Falcon
ödülünü bir kez daha
nyalanya.
Tesvet Başkanımız.
Oh, MVP ada ininya ya. Dapat handphone, bos. Oke, sama.
There he is. Koa is your MVP.
Sama
If you
trofi MVP.
That's it. There you go. You can make
Nice
your way.
individual
Shake the
award
president
there.
handshake, and there we go. You can make your way to the back of the arena as
bacanya.
well. Congratulations, Koa. Your MVP. One more time. Hold the phone out for us. You stand there for us. Trophy. There we go. There he is.
Anjing. Congrats. Cuma dia yang bawa pulang HP-nya,
Okay,
bener.
thank you very much, Koa. You can go to the back. Again, thank you very much. Okay.
Alper Bey'e de çok teşekkür ediyoruz ödülleri dağıttığınız için. Efendim bir sonraki etkinlikte tekrar
Thank you so
görüşmek
much.
üzere.
Take care. Thank you. We say goodbye to the president of the Turkish Esports Federation. But do not forget as well, folks, it's not just about today, it's about the extension of this, which is those 4 qualifying spots as well for the
ngasih tahu yang
Esports
keempat.
World Cup this summer. We're going to start welcoming them out one by one, each of our teams. Are you ready for this, Billy?
Yeah, I'm ready. Şimdi Dünya Kupası'na, Espor Dünya Kupası'na gidecek. İlk 4 sırada finalleri tamamlayan takımları tek tek sahneye çağıracağız.
Regnum kan harusnya.
Okay. In 4th position and qualifying for the Esports World Cup, would you please give it up?
4. sırada Dünya Kupası'na gidecek takım.
Iya, Regnum.
Regnum Karya Esports!
Nah, PMGO yang juara mereka, jadi slotnya turun ke PMSL-nya, guys. PMSL regionnya. Jadi dapat tambahan. Kalau Arab kan mainnya karena dia host country kan, R8 host country. Oh, jersey PMWC-nya.
Next up, it's time for our third team to also qualify for this summer's EWC.
Kesusul last match,
Üçüncü
plot
takım
twist anjing.
şimdi sıradaki
EDA Esports!
Oh, ini semua nih, semua. Gua ngambil ini dulu, project.
Okay, here we go. Next up, your second place team. Would you please put your hands together?
ikinci sıradaki takım için alkışlarınızı istiyoruz.
Fireflux Esports! And one more time, we welcome back to the stage your 2025 PMSL EU Spring Champions.
Şimdi bir kez daha sahneye davet ediyoruz. 2025 PMSL Avrupa Bahar finalleri şampiyonu
Team Falcons! If you raise your t-shirts in the air, please, fellas, you are all qualified. Raise your t-shirts in the air. The EWC qualifiers for this summer's PUBG Mobile Championships.
Bir kez daha alkışlar. Finallerin ilk 4 sıra tamamlayan Dünya Kupası'na gidecek takımlar için gelsin.
Well, there we have it. These are your qualifying teams for this summer's EWC. It has been a mammoth of a weekend, and we are finally there. A few things to say. First and foremost, our sponsors, a massive thanks to Infinix, to the Esports World Cup, to Paycell, Xvega, Etopia, and of course Kelme as well.
Sizlere veda etmeden önce sponsorlarımıza bir kez daha teşekkür etmek istiyoruz. Sponsorlarımız Infinix, Esports World Cup, Paycell, Xvega, Etopia ve Kelme.
We want to say a huge thank you as well to all of the production teams put this together here, for all you guys, all the players here as well, of course. All of you were watching here at home. This amazing audience as well. You've been absolutely incredible all weekend long as well. And of course our qualifiers and our champions. It's been simply amazing.
Bu prodüksiyonda emeği geçen sahne arkasında, sahne önünde herkese tekrar teşekkür etmek istiyorum. Siz muhteşem seyirciye, bu salonu dolduran herkese bir kez daha tek tek teşekkür etmek istiyorum. Evlerinde izleyenler, sizlere de teşekkür ediyorum. Oyuncular, ekip, sahne, her şey harikaydı. Bir sonraki turnuvada, bir sonraki etkinliğimizde görüşmek üzere. And we say goodbye.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much for watching. Take care. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye for now. Goodbye.
Oh, goodness me. We're not going...
Oh iya, suara lo nggak ada. Gue upstream dulu. Nanti kalau stream lagi main Delta Force. Belum diupdate semua guys, siapa yang lolos di Wikipedia, jadi gue nggak bisa liatin. Nanti aja nunggu di level up atau di tempat lain lah, di official mungkin. Selamat beristirahat semua, selamat menyambut Senin. Kita ketemu lagi di stream berikutnya. Thank you yang udah mampir, thank you yang udah like, thank you yang udah donate, udah apresiasi dalam bentuk apapun. Semoga berkah selalu. Sampai ketemu. Mohon maaf kalau ada salah kata. BX pamit undur diri. Bye bye. Peace out. Love you all. Oh ini nih, ada nih. Lah anjing. Kabar. Geser dulu bos. Mana ya? Ini ya. Jadi ini dia, ulangin sekali lagi, ada Falcon, ada Fireflux, ada Ida, ada Regnum Karya Esport. Jadi udah lengkap. Ketutup lagi dong ini. Gue mau screenshot buat postingan nanti guys. Bye, love you all.